exception. Friends have all the best intentions in mind. And since I'm so indecisive, I'll probably just rot in my room alone, with no help but myself, lost in my own vices. Or should I say devices that I just can't seem to escape? 4 years past now, and I feel like I'm starting to calm myself down. But I know I shouldn't bank on that. I always collapse and freak myself out. Yeah, I freak myself out. I see a silhouette of someone paying respect to a long line of controversial conversations that I don't regret that past. It led me to a present where I'm better than I was when I was not me. And I'm sorry your time was just a practice course to get my shit together. To get my shit together. 4 years from now, and I'm gonna be out of this broke down. No, I shouldn't bank on that. I always fall back, I always relax, and I'm crawling back in. I'm crawling back, digging through drawers and vomit on floors, trying to forget your face.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live Tornado Tag podcast on a Thursday. Everyone, I got for the audio listeners, Anthony, Andy, Austin, and Brian here on the call.
How is my name Brian? Begins with a B, and I'm the last in alphabetical order. How does that work?
I kind of just looked around the
Yeah.
table. Yeah. Looked straight ahead and then worked my way counterclockwise because I'm weird.
This is some kind of sham.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
What are the odds?
there's 3 A's and a B.
Yeah.
Not just the order that you pointed it
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
It's legitimate.
We need like
yeah.
a Zeke and a Xander and a
yeah. That's weird.
Zach-
Zach Xander.
yeah.
Yeah. So we have a lot to talk about. We're going to cover the topic of William Regal tonight, or Sir William Regal, or Sir
Steven Regal.
Lord Steven Regal,
Lord
sir.
Steven Regal. There's a lot to go over. We have a lot of news to go over at the end,
Yeah.
so stick around if you want to hear our takes on what's going on.
It's gonna be more
Current day
action
wrestling.
packed than the AW locker room.
and the world title match. Yeah, if
It's
you
gonna
are
be longer
here-
than the world title match. That's for sure.
I
I
hope
think it
this-
already is.
Yeah, we've already beaten the time limit for the world title match. We do have merchandise, Patreons, all that great stuff. If you want to support us, the links are below. Patreon and merchandise help us a long way. Fun fact: if you order a medium-sized banner,
It's very big.
huge. It's massive, and I think it was like what, $30.
Yeah, I think that one was 45 at max.
that what
Maybe
it
a little
was?
less. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like 90 inches.
it's huge, but I think it looks cool.
It's like a life-size Andy Header behind me.
there's a
That's
lot of
actually bigger.
a lot of
Larger than life
Yeah.
Andy Header.
a lot of nipple on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Am I obstructing Andy's nipple? I'm sorry.
I'm into the banner. So as a retrospect, if you go on the merch page and you order a banner, that's what you're gonna get.
It's probably 5 feet by 5 feet.
I open it out of the bag. I go, holy
Yeah.
shit! That's
It looks like it might be close to the size of the banners they would have on like Superstars and Wrestling
Yeah, the
Challenger
ones
they
that
would
were
hang
hanging up. Yeah.
yeah.
I would love that one of them.
So we used to do Teespring, and I ordered banners from Teespring, and I thought I ordered the last couple, and I guess I got them in small. And
They
not
might have been
medium,
medium for them though.
because medium on Teespring was the one we used to use.
Yeah,
So that
huge.
I'm into it. I like it. Yeah. So that's our little plug there.
Buy one and cover a whole wall in their house.
It is. I couldn't even imagine what a large looks like.
What them huge flags they hang in front of like.
They send Andy
warehouses?
to your house.
Yeah, they just send
And they
you
just-
Andy.
Have him lay on a piece of cloth for it.
The chat is kicking already. Thank you guys. If you are watching this,
Eel kicks or
Ew. Yeah, Ew is a little kid who roasts me, I believe.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's cool people.
And Peter DeLong is a grown adult that roasts you.
Yeah, Peter Long is a grown adult. If you want to, also, if you're listening to this later, go back and help us out on that YouTube side. Subscribe, helps us out a lot. Share this podcast if you have some wrestling friends. Like, hey, check out this podcast of these fucking idiots that talk wrestling. What else I got to cover here before we get into the main dish here? There was something, but I forget now.
We talked about the Patreon. We talked about vlogs. Maybe did we have some vlogs?
Oh, we have
coming?
we have a vlog that's out right now. We have the Hamburg Fieldhouse coverage that's out right now on the YouTube page, and it will all come a week later on Facebook. And dropping tomorrow is going to be the demolition Q&A from Waffle Mania. So
Oh, okay.
So here comes the axe,
Yeah.
and here comes the smash.
yes, so we have a lot of cool content this weekend for me at least. I'm not booked, so that's a little bit of a relief. Yeah, so let's get into
Are
it.
you gonna go jump on a trampoline and lift weights in a Speedo? Nobody saw me on the mat. Okay,
Oh,
Dennis Stamp.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't.
You never know when Vince is gonna call when you're in your mid-50s and you work in extermination. So you gotta jump on a trampoline in your trunks and lift little like 2-pound
Oh, God.
weights. And it's funny, that was all I knew Dennis Stamp from. And then they put AWA Wrestling on ESPN Classic years later, and Dennis Stamp was an enhancement guy, and he was good. He was like a really good wrestler.
Did he look terrible? Or?
He looked like an enhancement
I
guy.
thought I muted that. Apparently I didn't.
all right. And
There we
also check us out on social media. You can follow us, Tornado Attack Podcast, Twitter, social, Facebook. We do have a community page. If you want to join our chat, we do have a chat that we open to people. Just let us know. We can get you into it. You have to message me on Facebook, though, to get into the chat. What?
The hell was that?
I don't know what that
Probably
was.
my neighbors are.
Oh,
It's like a car garage. It's like
It's the
NASCAR out
Fiend.
there.
The Fiend is going to show up at the end of the podcast.
it's retribution.
Oh God, I hear enough Fiend speculation all day long. That's all I got. I think that's pretty much all we got. Oh yeah, we are trying to get some new equipment because we do have some cool ideas and stuff we want to do, especially when it comes to interviews. And the best way to get that equipment is support with the Patreon and merchandise. But if you can't afford it, like I said, shares and likes help us out a lot. Huge thank you to Analyzing Tony, giving me a weekly platform to talk wrestling, and a lot of you are here because of the Analyzing Tony show. So huge thank you to him. Love that team and everything they do over there. They work hard. I was up with Tony last night until 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because that news broke with Eddie Kingston. So,
Oh, were you doing a show?
so every time something breaks, he just jumps on live and talks about it because he
Wow,
wants
what
to
a
be
guy.
quick on Facebook. Yeah, which is smart, but it's time consuming.
Yeah, I'd say.
That's a grind.
Yeah.
That is a
He should work for
dedication.
Vince.
Um,
Get the call at 2:30 to go over storylines.
yeah. So yeah, a lot of hard work, but let's get into William Regal. And like I said, we have a lot to cover.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's what I wanted to talk about. Next week, we can give you two weeks in advance of what we're going to talk about.
Yes.
So next week we'll be covering. It will be a full team, and we'll be doing Clash and All Out.
Clash at the castle,
Yes,
not of the champion.
yeah, Clash of the Castle,
Clash
and,
of the Champions of the
An
Cash.
all-out clash at the castle.
and All Out. That's what I should have.
Because the one card is on during the day, right? Or is Clash at the Castle Saturday?
Clash of the Castle is Saturday afternoon, 1:00, because it's in England
Mhm.
or Wales. It's in the UK. And then Worlds Collide is, I believe, like 3 or 4 o'clock on Sunday. It's pre All Out. And then All Out will probably be on around 8 o'clock.
And we're looking to have the full team here next week for that. So we'll have the full cast. And then the week after, it will be In Your House Mind Games.
Yeah, I was there as a small.
He was
child.
there with his Tony Gurria roll
Yeah.
sign.
That is probably my two favorite wrestlers wrestling that.
Don't agree.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I know.
Mankind
And
and
the match
Mick
was
Foley.
very good.
So that's what you got to look forward to the next 2 weeks. So that's your homework: is be prepared for Mind Games if you want to watch along and then hang out with us.
For a long time, Mick Foley, maybe even still, said that was his best match. Up until very late in his career, at the very least.
Yeah.
Maybe that street fight with Triple H he thought was better. I don't know. but for a long time he thought that was his best match.
I can't remember one card on the undercard until I watch it.
One of the things that
I can go over a bit of the undercard because I was watching a little bit of it. You have a Caribbean strap match. They must have had it out for Philadelphia back then, because the year before this is King of the Ring 95. It's a little tease for 2 weeks from now. A year before that was King of the Ring 1995. Savio Vega wrestled 4 times on that show if you count the free-for-all.
Caribbean strap match, I immediately thought of Salvio Vega.
And then in this show, he wrestles twice.
Ugh.
He wrestles in the free-for-all against Marty Jannetty, and then the opener is him and Bradshaw in a strap match. So that's 2 pay-per-views in 2 years, and combined 6 Savio
I
Vega
love
matches.
Savio.
That is an
God damn it.
in-your-house worth of Savio Vega matches over 2 years.
Yeah.
You also have the tag team titles on the line. You have the Smoking
I was gonna
Guns
say
against
Smoking
Owen Hart
Guns.
and the British Bulldog. You have a final curtain match with the Undertaker and Goldust. You have a very special interview segment where Brian Pillman interviews Steve Austin. I'm missing one of the matches. I don't remember what it was. You
Ken
have
Shamrock?
I don't.
Is
I don't
Sean's
think it was
world
wrestling
champion,
for
right?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels and Mankind for the title is the main event.
Diesel?
Diesel was already in WCW at this point.
Oh, wow.
You have Jim Cornette against Jose Lothario is a match in this. And then you have that other match is the last match. These were in your houses. They were like 5-match shows. I could look it up real quick just to.
Someone says that guy in the Hardy shirt looks a lot like Precious.
What? No.
I had to think, who has a Hardy shirt on?
Austin.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Oh yeah. It
Not
was the at least the televised WWF debut of Mark Henry against
Oh.
Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
That actually sounds like a very entertaining show. Like, not just like obviously the main event pretty good,
Yeah,
but
no,
Undertaker and Goldust sounds like a
Yeah.
sports entertainment spectacle.
Aside from the Savio Vega match, it's all probably pretty decent.
Lothario and Cornette, I
Yeah.
think they kept short.
Yeah, because that's just goofy.
And then Mark Henry was super green.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Super green.
Well, gentlemen, let's learn how to be men, real men,
real men's men.
men of men, real men's of men,
Such
men, boys to men, Motown Philly.
Oh, yeah, that's where Mind Games was. Mind Games was in Philadelphia.
Yeah. So let's talk about the leader of the Blackpool Combat Club, William Regal.
Or if you prefer, Lord Steven Regal. I know
Well,
Andy and I are going to be
well,
on Team
yeah.
Lord Steven here.
We'll accept anything.
Well,
I'm gonna be William Regal.
Yeah.
Just
Usually
for the
the
majority.
first time you learn about a wrestler, that's the name that kind of sticks in your head. Like, Terry Funk always calls Mick Foley Cactus Jack.
Yeah,
That's
Cornette
who
still
he
calls
was,
him Cactus.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's usually what happens. I mean, not all the time.
I
sometimes
normally
it
just say
changes.
Regal.
Yeah.
Like when I'm calling a match, I don't know if this is etiquette or not good or not, but like when you come down, I don't say Andy Header the
Yeah.
whole time. I
Oh,
either say
Vince-
Andy or I say Header.
Vince wouldn't like that.
Fuck him.
You gotta say your full name, pal.
Oh, he's out.
And the surname
Yeah.
too.
Well, yeah, that's the brand.
Yeah, you would have to
there.
call him Strictly Business Andy Header every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you put that much money into a brand, why wouldn't you say it?
Macho Man Randy Savage going off the corner.
Because
Macho Man Randy Savage not going off the
Exactly.
ropes. Macho
Because it
Man Randy
sounds
Savage.
very unnatural.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds very
say
unnatural.
But to people who have never watched it before.
Well, you could say it once or twice. You don't have
Yeah.
to say it every single time.
And they used to be more.
Dax Preston of the Dallas Cowboys drops back at the quarterback position to throw the ball to the wide receiver Ezekiel Elliott from the Dallas Cowboys. Like that's just too
That's
much.
a running back.
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So we got to kind of talk about the history of wrestling to talk about William Regal, Lord Steven Regal. Regal.
He invented it.
No, he may have perfected it a little bit, but no, he didn't invent it. But obviously, wrestling as a legitimate martial art has been around for thousands of years. And as far as professional wrestling, it kind of started 2 ways. You had people who would post there used to be this magazine, this newspaper around, it was called like the Police Gazette.
Mm.
And I think a lot of cities would even have their own version of the Police Gazette. And you would post like, I am the strongest wrestler in town. And I challenge anybody to meet me in the parking lot of the local pharmacy. And we'll have a wrestling match. And I'll put up $20 and you put up $20. There's a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
And the winner takes the purse. And these would draw crowds. And then people would finally take this to the carnivals. And there would be this whole thing where you would have your wrestler, and he usually didn't look like a big guy or a strong guy or a tough guy, but it'd be like, if anyone can beat this man, $5 to you. And you would just have the guy trained as a hooker, as I say. They would know hooks, where it was an often illegal in a legit wrestling exhibition hold that was devastating and could
Hurt like hell, and you didn't want to be in it.
Yeah, and you would submit. Like they would rather submit somebody than pin them because they can't say, "Well, my shoulders were down." Like, no, you submitted. So that there was the carnival, and then there was the kind of the open challenges. And then because people think, oh, pro wrestling became a work later because the matches were too long and they wanted to make sure it was an entertaining product. No. It started with those people betting on the match. Like they would bet against each other, but they were like, hey, we should have the crowd bet on the matches. And it was like, hey, we should bet on one of us, have the other one, have the person we bet on win, and take all the people who bet on the loser's money. And the reason these matches went on so long is because they would keep doing the betting while the matches were going on. So you see these old things with like Strangler Lewis and people where it was a 7.5 hour match. Yeah, because they were still taking bets.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just sit in a headlock or sit in the body scissors.
Send it home. Send it home.
Until you get enough bets. Oh, all the bets are on you. Beat me.
Yeah.
Or all the bets are on me. I'm going to beat me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the work part of it started. And then a lot of these carnival matches, you could have a stooge in there where in the carnivals, they would take a big, strong guy who was with it, who was part of the show, who would come in and just get tied into a pretzel. But usually it was just, let's take the local tough guy and make him look bad. And that was how Regal got involved in professional wrestling at the Blackpool, England. Hang on, the Blackpool Pleasure Beach was the name of the amusement park.
E1, hold that off to the end, and if we do have time after current events, what's going on, we will take on questions, so you guys can ask some questions at the end. But we're going to stick to our topic for now. If you guys have anything you want to contribute to the conversation in the chat, we will more than love to have you in there. But like I said, we want to get through this part of the show here first. And they're used to the live stream aspect where they're used to the interaction. So
it's a free flow.
Yeah, so this is a little more, we stick to the podcast side of things, and then when we get to news, we will definitely get everybody involved.
If he means this year, it's Curly.
Yeah.
Briscoes versus FTR.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I didn't see the question. Match of the year?
The best tag match, but he's saying of all time. So, your favorites.
Okay. Yeah, all time would be tough.
I just don't want you to think we're ignoring you guys.
So this is the Blackpool Beach Club.
The Blackpool Beach Club. Which is
the BBC.
The Blackpool gets stretched by a 15-year-old club.
Yeah, William Regal was 15 years old doing this to a grown man.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, not surprising.
Yeah.
Not surprising. He was trained in catch wrestling, which catch wrestling, a lot of modern mixed martial arts grappling comes from catch. The Kimura lock.
Double wrist lock.
It's called the double wrist lock. And it was taught to Kimura, the man from Japan who did this to Helio Gracie, and Helio Gracie's arm got snapped.
Yep.
And then it became a part of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because, like, hey, that worked on me. Let's use it.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the kids at the sanctuary who's training is only 16, but he's done judo classes before going to the sanctuary. Yeah, I could definitely believe a 15-year-old stretching people out.
Yo, once you learn that, that's a very valuable trait.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I think more professional wrestlers today, like if I owned a wrestling company, like if I was Tony Khan and money wasn't a problem, I would be bringing in judo and BJJ guys and being like, yo, you guys have to go through 2 weeks of ground game. Like,
well,
I want you to learn ground. I want you to learn legit. So, because right now, like there are certain moments in wrestling where they still use submissions that they're cool if in storyline, but some of them just make no sense.
Well,
like some of Taker's finishers, like
that's wrestling. I mean,
well,
you're never gonna put a figure four on someone real life.
The Hell's Gate was a Goga Plata.
Yeah, like that
was a real move.
But didn't he do it in a way where it wouldn't have hurt at all? Like,
oh, maybe.
Yeah,
he did the one where he would put his arm around or his leg around your arm and then tuck his boot under your chin, and then he would just kind of pull down.
Yeah.
There was that one, but then there was the legitimate choke that he did.
So like there's just stuff that they've gotten better at how do we sell not getting put in an arm bar. Because in real life, if you're in an arm bar and it's fully extended, you tap or it's gone. You know what I mean? And then they've learned now in wrestling, like hold the grip or roll into it and stuff.
Yeah, because a lot of wrestlers watch MMA.
Yeah, and I think that helps the product, especially someone who walked away and then came back and was a huge mixed martial arts fan. It helps professional wrestling when people have that base there.
And they've done it too. Where remember Seth Petrozelli was I think the first guy to beat Kimbo in a TV fight. He was briefly a striking coach for WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So that they've actually incorporated actual MMA fighters. I know very famously Danielson trained for a few months with Extreme Couture when it first opened in Vegas. He moved to Vegas just to train with them so his strikes would look better.
Yeah.
And that was before he was even in WWE.
It helps. It helps a lot.
So Regal was trained back then. You trained as a shooter. That's still the way they do it in Japan.
If you're
Um,
gonna be hooked, I would have hooked you.
Yeah, and that was the old school way. We're going to teach you how to fight for real, and then here's how you work it.
Yeah.
So Regal makes a jump from the carnival circuit to the British wrestling scene, which by the mid to late '80s, when he's jumping in, it's not what it used to be. Like World of Sport was huge, and you had like Rollerball Rocco, you had Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks, and it's starting to taper off at this point. But Regal is a fairly big star. He's like the young babyface tag team with Robbie Brookside, who is right now a trainer in NXT. It's one of Regal's longest and dearest friends. They were a very successful tag team in the mid to late '80s. And then in the early '90s, when WWF and WCW would do UK tours, they didn't want to bring the whole roster over, so they'd bring a few guys, and your undercard would be filled with local people. And Regal was a local guy for both companies.
He had 2 shows in 1 year, right? With WWE, he had one where he was a dark match of like a Rumble, like the Rumble, and then another one was like a UK Brawl or something like that.
I don't think this would have been.
There were 2 UK pay-per-views that he was dark. Yeah,
I don't think it was a Rumble. It was probably the Battle Royal in Royal Albert Hall in '91, the Bulldog one.
yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't it was like a gigantic, it was like a 50-man Battle Royal. It was, I think, the biggest Battle Royal they had done at the time.
Oh.
But it wasn't a Royal Rumble. I'm going to guess it was the Royal Albert Hall show.
Yeah.
Would have
This is
been like
before he would have went to WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did 2 WWE shows first.
I believe
He did a few of them. Yeah,
it's
he did like a handful of them when they did a European tour.
enhancement talent.
I got
ma-
criticized for being the least knowledgeable on the podcast, so I actually researched William Regal as well. So I don't.
Hey, not everyone
Hey,
can know.
you calling me out? You
Not,
saying you were knowledgeable than me?
not everyone
No,
can know
challenge
everything.
it.
definitely not. I cheated and learned and did all this like today. I binged it.
So at this point, he's also Steve Regal,
Yes.
which he took that name from another wrestler who was not super famous, but Mr. Electricity Steve Regal was an AWA mainstay. He was their light heavyweight champion for a while. He's like, I like that name. I'm going to be Steve Regal.
Yeah, because his real name Steve Williams, isn't it?
No, Regal's that's Steve
thought-
Austin's
Dev?
real name is Steve Williams.
I thought that was also-
Regal's real name is Darren Matthews.
Oh, that's right. What am I thinking?
Darren. He doesn't even look like a
Yeah,
Darren.
his name is Darren Matthews. Yeah.
That'd be weird. Calling me Darren. Never doing that. Never doing that.
He probably is actually.
There's
probably
still
what he was.
wrestlers that like I probably seem really stupid when I do it, but like I see certain people and I don't call them by their real name
A lot of people
because I
don't.
don't want to get confused.
There's some guys I don't know their real name.
Your
And-
partner told
I've
I
known
learned
them
his
for
name because of
years.
Facebook, and
Yeah.
I have to really think when I'm calling his matches not to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for everybody.
Like
but-
Kit
Yeah,
and Adina.
Mhm.
They will always be Kit and Adina to me.
yeah.
We will be in public with nobody around, and they'll be Kit and Adina because I don't want to ever
I
confuse
mean,
it.
that's a good way to not confuse.
Yeah.
It's everyone's different.
I fuck up BP and Brian all the time
Yeah.
on commentary.
Well, it's not exactly Clark Kent and Superman. The B stands for Brian anyway.
Yeah, I am horrible. I'm terrible at. If I learn your real name first and then you try to get me again, like Dave, that was on the podcast. He,
Oh yeah, because he's Michael Martin.
Michael
I
Martin.
didn't
and
know that.
I never called him Michael Martin. I think the entire time I was on commentary because I'm just so used to Dave. Yeah,
There's guys I've known for 10 years or more that I have no idea what their real name is.
yeah. Don't tell me.
No idea.
Your real name is Andy.
No.
No. I thought that was his real name.
Hey, brother.
Kayfabe. So when this becomes a full-time U.S. gig, by the late '90s, the UK wrestling scene is just dead. World of Sport has been canceled. That was the big show. It's a wasteland. So Regal has an eye to the United States, and Bill Watts is running WCW. And this is Regal is the guy that's right out of Bill Watts's.
Yeah, he would have loved him.
He can really fight. He wrestled at the carnivals. Because Bill Watts back in the day, if you were a wrestler and you got in the bar fight and you lost, he would fire you.
Yeah. The thing was, if you get in a fight, you better win.
Yep. Because
You don't care if you did.
Wasn't that the backstage thing for WWE too? Or no, that was Bill Watts. Where
Bill Watts, yeah. WWE probably.
they wouldn't care. Of course they wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Their Intercontinental Champion got in a bar fight and lost. They gave him the world title.
Well,
It was
it was the whole platoon of
yeah,
Marines.
It was the entire national.
it was the
Guard,
101st
man.
Airborne.
I
Yeah.
wasn't even there.
It was in single file.
They circled him.
Like standing with clubs just waiting. Like airplane.
They used a Harrier fighter.
He took out 16 of them, but there was just 30 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only do so much.
There's
That was just the first wave.
that new show, Michael's Lead, is not good. It's the new figure that came out. Walmart
Dude,
has it. It's so lame.
I don't even know why they call those elites.
They're not. They look like basics.
Yeah, the
Side tangent.
A quick figure thing. The only figures for WWE that are worth buying, in my opinion, are the Ultimates.
Yeah.
The Ultimates. The other, like the elites, look garbage, and the
Brock
ones
looks
underneath them
stupid. Oh yeah, the ones that are
are even
$10.
worse. Yeah,
I got a Tony Storm one, but it's signed, and it's their only figure. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
So Bill Watts brings him in as Steve Regal, just a generic babyface, British flag on the tights. That lasts a little bit, and then in the summer of '93, when Bill Watts is kind of on his way out, Eric Bischoff is on his way in. They're like, we're going to make use of this guy and turn him heel. And this is the debut of Lord Steven Regal. He's not Steve anymore. He's Lord Steven Regal. He's given a manager, Sir William, who was Memphis wrestling legend superstar Bill Dundee.
Yeah. Now he's British.
Yeah, he's Australian.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's British now.
close enough.
and he's like a butler slash.
But he's Sir William, so he's
Yeah.
a little more distinguished than that.
Yeah, he had a derby.
He had a derby, would always carry an umbrella, was frequently used as a weapon. And they always would print, and I remember I had a WCW magazine where they printed Lord Steven Regal's lineage, because they always said he was descended from William the Conqueror. And it would be all these things. It'd be like, there would be like this blank part, and all of a sudden it would come out to the 1900s, like this person, Lord Steven Regal.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to be a legitimate blue blood, a legitimate
Royalty.
member of royalty.
Keep that tag team name in mind.
Yeah, it's coming.
It may come into play.
And this is when, not right away, but this is when he starts wearing the maroon, which became
Yeah.
his thing. Like when
Well, at this point, he was wearing
The blue and
blue
red.
with the maroon or red
Yeah,
trim at
yeah.
the top.
And he had like the cape.
He would come out in the cape.
Yeah.
and always the hand behind the
overcoat.
back.
Always, he'd always do the thing with the wrist like
Yeah.
that, which Doug Williams still does to this day. Wipe his feet before he entered the ring. He had so many great manners.
And that looked like he just smelled shit.
Yeah.
I loved his facial expressions. Yeah.
Oh, they were some of the best ever.
Now, obviously, he didn't coin the wipe the feet getting in the ring.
No, that was like a
No.
whole. That was an old thing. You respect the ring.
But that was
Wipe
it,
your
where
feet.
he essentially not reinvented it, but made it a thing
Well, he
again.
made it
Him
like
and-
his thing.
Him and Taz kind of made that popular.
Yeah.
Taz would do the same thing.
Suzuki does it.
Yeah, and then
Minoru.
and then everyone's kind of like, oh no, let's
Yeah.
like
There's a lot of
that.
guys
It's a nice nod to be
that may
respected.
be a catch thing. That might be a catch wrestling thing, because Billy Robinson, I think, would do it, and then he was like the Wig and Snake Pit. That's where Suzuki.
Yeah,
That's all the same lineage. Carl.
that's where I
Dodge.
first seen it. That was Regal, and now like in today's wrestling, everyone does it.
Almost. Yeah.
Almost everybody, like every single person, even if they're like warming up to before they get in the ring, it's almost like touching the sign of Notre
Yeah.
Dame. Like everyone wipes
Yeah,
their
it's a
feet.
respect the ring.
Yeah,
thing.
it's a
Yeah,
respect.
because like let's say it's an outside show and you got to walk through the grass and everything.
Yeah.
Then you don't want to be bumping on all that
Yeah.
crap.
You don't want your face in dog shit.
Yeah, or
at an
something.
outdoor
Or
show.
a little pebble, like you land on your face and pebble goes like, oh, it sucks. Like
Yeah.
imagine stepping on a pebble.
Absolutely.
One of the days before one of the sanctuary shows, Schultz found glass in the ring.
Oh my god.
geez.
That's again, and it was just like a little piece, but that's something if you don't wipe your feet could get into the ring real
Yeah.
easily.
At a CZW ring used to have dried blood on it. Go in there and train.
No. Need to get tested. Go ahead.
So very quickly, he moves up the card a bit. One of his first big matches as Lord Steven, he is kind of recruited to be Steve Austin's partner. The Hollywood Blondes were the tag team champions, and Pillman was legitimately hurt. So they bring in Steven Regal and Stunning Steve Austin, and they lose the tag team titles to the Horsemen. At this point, it's Arn Anderson and Paul Roma are the Horsemen.
Now, for a lot of his first run before he teamed with Austin and Tripp, he was the TV champion, right?
This was the one
Yeah.
time he teamed with Austin.
Okay.
Shortly after that, he wins the TV title from
Yeah,
Ricky
okay,
Steamboat.
okay.
Very shortly after that, he wins the TV title from Ricky Steamboat at Fall Brawl, and he's the champion for a while.
Mhm.
And you would have hated this, Tony. You would have despised this run.
Time limit draws.
Yes. The whole
15
thing,
minutes.
Yep. 15-minute time limit, it would always be like Regal and Arn
15
Anderson.
minutes I can live with, though. If
And-
you commit me to a half hour, come on.
Yeah.
Through like 15 commercial breaks, and then you give me nothing?
Well, these would usually be on pay-per-view. And the whole thing was the babyface would feverishly try to beat him in the time limit, and Regal's just trying to run out the clock, and he does. And
Yeah, that was his thing.
he
Like,
keeps his title.
I know you can't beat me within the 15 minutes. If
Yeah,
I get
I don't
longer,
mind. I don't
then,
mind that.
you
I'll
know.
take your ass kicking, but
Yeah.
you're not.
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
the
you're not gonna
title.
beat me with the 15, and then I keep the belt.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the easy way out, kind of.
But it also incentivizes actually beating him.
I don't mind that at all.
So
And that old TV title was very nice one. Had like red and blue in it.
Mhm.
And that-
Yeah.
Then it became like the real simplified one. That was still nice too. But
he in that was late '93. In '94, he runs afoul of Larry Zbyszko, who's an announcer. and they start to go back and forth a little bit. He had a series with Ric Flair. It was called like the Marquis of Queensberry Rules. Like they had a 5-match series. Regal won 1. There was a draw, and Flair won 2. Or I think there were 2 draws. Something happened. Or Flair won 2, and they only had 4 matches because then Flair won it. Or I forget how it worked, but Regal did get a win on Flair, but Flair won the series. And then with Zbyszko, they had a few matches. They had one that was I think the one I was at one at Slamboree. I swear, between like Regal's matters and everything, it took them like 7 minutes to lock up, but it was so entertaining. It was so entertaining with the way Regal was just acting, and he got that match over so much he didn't take a bump for like the first 10 minutes. And so that ends with Zbyszko winning the TV title, but Regal gets it back right away and loses it shortly thereafter to Johnny B. Bad. But except for that little time Zbyszko was a champion, he was a TV champion for a year. Besides like maybe a month and a half where Zbyszko had it. And shortly after that happens, he starts teaming with another guy, Jean-Paul Levesque, the French aristocrat.
Never hear of him?
Yep. Never went anywhere.
I remember him. Before that, he was terrorizing.
Yeah. On WCW Saturday Night.
Yeah. So that is, of course, the future Triple H, who would basically have the same gimmick, except he becomes Hunter Hearst Helmsley when he leaves the company. Except now, instead of him being a French aristocrat, a French snob, he was basically Vince McMahon making fun of all his neighbors in Greenwich he thought were snobs. And that was how Hunter Hearst Helmsley starts.
I liked Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
It was fine for a gimmick at the time.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
This pirate pants.
Yeah.
That's where I was confused. I was like, is this guy a pirate or is he like just a Richie snob?
No, they already had a pirate. You met him before. PCO.
Oh, yeah.
Jean-Pierre Lafitte. Well, that was
Yeah.
a little bit later.
Yeah, I remember I actually had the Triple H action figure.
Yeah, I had the first one. Yeah, he has the
the
pants.
The pants, yep, with the ponytail in the back and no facial hair, and yeah, I owned. I think that had bone crunching action.
It was one of the first Jax ones. Maybe not the first wave, but like wave.
The
3 or
knees,
4.
like
yeah, when you be click.
yeah.
I remember the one was the first one I did. I was like, click. Oh my god, bone crunching.
So with Jean-Paul out, he needs a new tag team partner. So they do the old opposites attract thing where you have Bobby Eaton, who it's been a long time since the Midnight Express, but Bobby Eaton's this good old boy from Mobile, Alabama. And now he's going to be trained. They did like the My Fair Lady thing where Triple H
Let's try to teach him to be a gentleman.
Regal's going to, and around this time, Sir Williams phased out, probably went back to Memphis. And so he's going to teach the Earl of Eaton, as they call him now, to be a gentleman.
These were good vignettes.
Yeah, like they're teaching him table manners and things like that. And he's just like a good old boy, Southern.
I watched a few of the vignettes, and he gets them over just with his face.
Oh yeah,
or just he's
incredible.
Like that. I smelled shit. Yeah, it was like, oh, they're so good. And the teams they rivaled with were perfect.
WCW's tag division was pretty stacked at this point.
Yeah,
but you take like 2 Richie boys, and then you put them against the Nasty Boys who are picking their nose and rubbing their armpits, and then they put them with like up class white guys versus the Hood. You know what I mean? They were fun, like polar opposite dynamic tag teams.
And Regal would get big matches too. Like he did a thing with Sting. He wrestled Inoki when Inoki came for a Clash of the Champions. He would get some big matches. He was
is Inoki the one where I was watching? They said he wrestled Inoki, and commentary was almost not even paying attention to the match because they were talking about Flair and Hogan the whole time.
Yeah, it was Regal.
And they're like picture in picture, and Hogan walking in the arena, like showing no respect to Inoki and Regal. And then Inoki puts him in a choke, and he was just like, I could have tapped, but it looked better if I went out. And he legit goes out. Like he lets Inoki choke him out. Like, I'm going to bed.
Well, that's why I think they picked Regal for Inoki. It's like he can afford to take the loss, but also he's going to have an Inoki style match because Inoki was all about those worked shoots, like the Ali thing, which was
awful.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't great. So Regal and Eaton are a team for a while, and I know another big thing with that was when
the Blue Bloods,
Richards and the Blue Meanie were doing parody stuff all the time, and it was Lord Stevie Richards, and instead of the Earl of Eaton, because the Blue Meanie was fat, he was the Earl of Eating.
You gotta love the BWO.
They had the old like judges' wigs.
Yeah. Well, Regal wore one too, didn't he? Didn't he wear a powdered wig?
Yeah, a few times, not all the time.
Yeah.
It was a rare thing.
Oh, I love the BWO.
And then they add a third person into the mix, Dave Taylor, Squire David Taylor, who was another British wrestler, and they bring in
But they get her on SmackDown like 2004-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Regal were a tag team during that time
Yeah.
period as well.
And here, because I think Eaton was kind of phasing Eaton out a little bit. They brought in Dave Taylor. They had a manservant Jeeves, so they just kind of beat up and pushed around. And I didn't know this until I was looking into this. I was like, I wonder who Jeeves was. Jeeves was better known in WCW as Wildcat Willie,
Oh
their
wow!
mascot.
How about that?
The giant cat with a WCW shirt that would just be like their mascot.
That's a figure they should make. Wildcat Willie.
You're upset about the Nitro Girls, but you want a Wildcat Willie figure.
I'd buy a Wildcat Willie. I don't give a shit about Nitro Girls.
Would WWE be better if it had a mascot? Like something like Gritty?
Well, they tried. It didn't work out because he was a chicken that came out of an egg.
Yeah.
Chicken
Oh.
thing. The gobbly.
Yeah, but you think they were leaning on that to be a full-time mascot?
They thought
that
it
was
would
their
be, yeah.
that was their plan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
had
mean,
no idea.
essentially, like it could, like if they say like Orange Cassidy's the mascot in AEW, isn't R-Truth kind of the mascot in WWE?
Yeah,
now?
kind of.
The comic relief guy that comes in for a laugh.
It really would be Truth, but I would like to see like a
character.
a guy in
Yeah.
a guy in a.
or like a
We're
galaxy.
learning something about Austin here.
Like
Austin,
the-
are you a furry?
Maybe you,
you
never
do like
know.
to get in costumes and
It-
wrestle people in costumes, and
God damn.
We're learning
Not
something
painting
here.
a good image.
We've had
of
a
her.
breakthrough.
I used to wear a bacon costume. I've worn a Ted costume. I gotta
Bacon.
start looking.
you like to dress up. You keep it spicy.
No, but you put them in like a galaxy or kind of looking thing, and it's the WWE universe.
Yeah.
as
Okay.
as a mascot.
Oh, it's a planet.
yeah.
We need an Outbreak mascot.
Yeah, it'll be
Either
the biohazard symbol.
Biohazard Billy.
It's a morph
Yes.
suit with a biohazard on the face.
Biohazard Billy.
or
It'd be
just
great.
like someone in like a quarantine
yeah,
outfit.
that
The
suit.
hazmat
Yeah.
suit.
a hazmat suit.
But does like the Kool-Aid man? Oh yeah, and breaks through.
What could PPW use?
Paul Beau.
Oh yeah, Pablo would be.
No, the race car driver. Remember
Oh.
there's that race car, the Indy car or whatever
Yeah,
they
yeah,
call it.
the
I forget
car.
what they're called. Yeah,
He's been doing really well. Like
Yeah.
top 5
Yeah, he's had some
finishes
big finishes.
and
my
wins.
name was on the car for a while. He changed the names every so often, which is nice.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think your sticker, because I gave him a sticker of
Oh.
you and JC Storm, I believe,
Very possible.
but like new ones, and I think he stuck them on the
Oh,
car.
cool.
Yeah.
I forget what they're called. Their cars are called. Like the race, they have the top
Yeah,
things that
I'm
go like
terrible.
this.
I'm terrible.
I
with it,
forget.
yeah. They're dirt track cars.
Yeah.
And then Regal has a feud with another guy who was a World of Sport legend. Finlay comes
Mhm.
over. And,
With his mullet and mustache.
yeah, and he beats up Regal and he says, "This man is going to suffer for the way my people have suffered in Belfast." So basically, they're recreating the troubles in WCW at this point.
And the thing I watched today, I didn't have a chance to go watch any, but they said if you have anything to do after you do this, and I'll say it to the podcast too, maybe you can confirm or deny. They said they're on YouTube or the network. Go watch the Parking Lot Brawls.
I was just gonna say
Oh,
the part
yeah.
about there's a couple.
Early Nitros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very what's that movie called? Van Damme with the kind of
Bloodsport.
lights. Yeah, Bloodsport where
Yeah.
they're fighting. That's like that.
and there's like grandstands with people sitting there. Like they actually put fans in the crowd. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
The one of them gets pretty bloody too. I
they
think
said
it's
they're
fit.
awesome.
Yeah.
they had a regular match, well, semi-regular match, one of the uncensored, where one of them gets busted up so bad that the rest of the match is shot in like a wide angle
Yeah.
Oh,
because blood was like a big
I think
no.
they got a cut on the glass or something.
Yeah. They
And,
said, they said go out of your way to watch them.
and there's a terrible one that doesn't involve them. It's for the WCW hardcore title. It's the Junkyard Invitational.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
much later.
Yeah, that's like in
So
2000.
here's a question for you.
Uh-huh.
How a lot of people are hating on Moxley when he was bringing in people just to wrestle like independent people and just saying like, well, we don't know this person and he's not in the power rankings. How are these people getting title shots? Could you attribute now, knowing what we know now with the history of William Regal, is that almost shades of the like William Regal's startup in Blackpool where
Probably not.
just like take on all comers?
I think it's Moxley saying I want to fight indie guys.
yeah.
Yeah, and they say, hey, this might be a good
Maybe I'm
match.
just drawing too much of a trying to
I
connect
think
dots.
you're overthinking it. a
Yeah,
little
all right.
bit.
All right. Whatever.
connecting the dots for them.
It felt good. It felt like it felt appropriate.
So then Regal, I think he had a TV title a few more times, beat Luger once. I forget who beat the last time. He was a 4-time TV champion. And then he has a very famous match with Goldberg
Mm-hmm.
on Nitro, or it might have been Saturday night during Goldberg's streak where, I mean, people say, oh, Regal shot on him. He didn't shoot on him.
No,
he
he
just, he wanted to kind of change up the match and teach Goldberg how to work on the fly a little bit and improvise. And
From what he says, he did exactly what he was told. He
Yeah.
was told to go out and have a 6-minute entertaining match, and stretch him longer than he normally goes.
Yeah, because most Goldberg matches are about 2-3 minutes.
And then,
that point.
and then supposedly Goldberg and Bischoff, after it was all said and done, didn't like it.
Not sure Goldberg didn't.
And he had to learn.
Because it exposed him because he wasn't very good.
And then
But
Regal,
whose fault's that? It's not Regal's.
Regal, and he's been very public about this and very open about this. He was having some issues with substance abuse, alcoholism, things
Wrestling
like
in the
that.
90s, baby.
And so he does leave WCW shortly after that and turns up on a 1998 June 29th, 1998 episode of Raw
Mhm.
as Lord Steven Regal. He wasn't William Regal yet, or even the other gimmick we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, he was Lord Steven Regal, and he beat Draws.
Hmm.
He beat him with the Regal stretch, and he does a few house show matches.
The Regal stretch, was that
It kind of looks like an STF, but it's a little
Yeah,
bit different.
it's like
Okay.
a
Cross leg
Yeah.
and then abdominal stretch with the hands clasped.
Yeah, they're
around the
laying
head.
they're laying face down, and then he like stretches the arm like that. And
he
then
like
grabs
clo
the
released her
face.
legs?
He puts a like a little
like an
kind-
Indian deathlock.
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he
I remember
Does
he
the
did something with the
abdominal
legs, and then
yeah,
he put
and
his
then he
legs
goes down
through,
and wraps his
then
hands around your
and then
pulls your head.
almost like he's pulling a crab, but he's also stretching your face.
Some say the inverted STF
Okay.
or something like that. Or Regal stretch, that's what one calls it now.
yeah.
You say that and be like, oh, okay.
So then he injures his leg and he's gone for a while. And then they decide, like, well, we don't want a Steve or a Steven because we already have Steve Austin. Well, oh, that was actually later.
Steve Blackman.
So then he comes back in late '98 as the real man's man.
Yeah.
Steven Regal. He can juice an
Uh,
orange with his hand. He chops down trees.
And he has a flannel shirt on
Yeah.
and a hard hat.
Flannel shirt, a hard hat, and jeans.
Some
Yeah.
denim.
Yeah,
So he's like the woodsman man.
Yeah, he was a woodsman, construction worker, did it all.
It's literally like lumberjack Daniel Bryan.
In fact, much later, when they come back to England and they're doing like one of the lower TVs, like Velocity or something, and it's Regal against Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan comes out first, and he worked this out with the sound guy. Regal walks out, and he's midway through the aisle. His music cuts out, and they play that song for a little bit, and Regal just looks at Danielson like, "Okay, you got it."
And Daniel's dying in
Yeah.
the ring. Yeah. They were good at the time, like Mox and Regal. Probably my favorite, Mox and Brian, when they fucking did the Mountie spot,
Oh yeah, that was
No,
funny.
where Mox dresses the Mountie.
Mhm.
Like, I guess sitting
Mountie
backstage,
always gets his man.
and Daniel's just like trying to keep a straight face. I thought that's what Mox didn't give a shit. He's like, I am leaving
Yeah.
as soon as this contract over, and that was the best time I had with that character. Like, I was like, oh, him not caring is great. Like, he's
Batista was the same way.
yeah.
Oh,
When he was about to leave, and he's like talking about John Cena, like kissing babies and hugging fat girls and stuff like that. It's like,
In the chat, the champagne of professional wrestling.
oh yeah,
Travis Dorian, living that high life, brother. Pro tip: you want to get over on commentary with us? Bring beer to the ring, and then bring beer to commentary.
Yeah, it's come from Iron Regal.
and Victoria. No, straight ahead.
Yeah, he came out. He
Yeah.
came out with 3 beers, walked straight over and handed them the commentary.
Oh, that's nice. What a
Yeah,
great guy.
And cops are watching us, and we're just
I know,
drinking.
the cops are out
We're drinking in a grocery store parking lot.
Pro wrestling
calling
cop.
a pro
Sorry.
wrestling match.
Sorry, officer.
Check.
Yeah.
Did that.
These are work beers, officer.
Yeah. Yeah, these are working beers.
They were shooting beers.
Love that.
Yeah, and Travis Dorian victorious at Backbreaker.
Of course he was. If he wasn't going to be the victorious, we were going to run in with chairs.
No.
We would have made sure he got the job done.
Defeating former champion Ken Andrews.
Mhm.
And so back to Regal. His biggest thing as the man's man is he had this little mini feud with X-Pac. And this is when they had the Deadly Game tournament. The Deadly Game was the tournament for the vacant title of Survivor Series, and that's a first round match, and they have a double count out, and they are both eliminated. Regal's gone shortly after. He checked in the rehab, again, battling some demons. Has a very, very, very brief run back in WCW in '99. He was part of the Junkyard Invitational
Oh.
at Bash at the Beach '99. And the Blue Bloods come back, but it's Regal, Finlay, and Dave Taylor now. And they had
Was
very
Regal in
minor run.
the WCW games?
Yes.
He was in both of them?
He's. I don't think he's in Revenge, but I believe he's in World Tour, and he's in WCW vs. the World.
Is he also in No Mercy?
No Mercy is a WWE game.
I know, but
He might.
because
I
there
don't
was a
think he is.
time
I don't-
gap where he might
You
have
know,
been.
I think he is.
I don't think so.
no, he might be in If he's in either of them, he's in WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 2000. He
No
might be in
Mercy's
one of
the
them.
newer one.
Yeah, but it depends on when he was there. Because that's around the time. I don't know.
The only
It's
one
possible.
I know he's in is WCW versus the World.
And then he's in the later ones when he's in WWE. Like
like SmackDown.
Yeah,
and
SBR.
yeah, the GameCube ones because I played them through.
Yeah.
To,
Okay,
to
I
this day,
recognize.
the power of the punch is still in the 2K game.
Yeah, it's still where you stick your hand in your tights, put the brass knucks on, poof, and then the Regal neck breaker.
Which he famously does at least one point. So then Regal finishes up in February 2000 with WCW. He loses a career versus career match to Hacksaw Jim Duggan on WCW Saturday Night, which at that point, Russo and Ferrer and all those people didn't care about that show, and Jimmy Hart booked it, so it was just like a normal wrestling show and amidst all this chaos. There was a bunch of young guys like Mike Sanders and Kwee Wee and Elix Skipper. So it was actually, they were even talking about possibly using the TV title as like the Saturday Night title.
Yeah.
And like, this is just going to be this, don't even tell anybody about it. It's just a regular wrestling show.
Not in No Mercy.
Okay, might be in WrestleMania 2000.
He might be in 2000 as the real man's man,
Yeah.
if anything. So then we have, he comes back to the WWE. But before that, what really got him back on the radar, he cleaned up his act a bit. And then Brian Pillman had passed a few years earlier, and they did a Pillman Memorial show in Cincinnati, and the third one. They were doing it every year, and this is the one that everybody remembers because him and, I never saw the match, but him and Chris Benoit had a match that was supposed to be blowaway. That people like talked about for ages. In fact, they did, Court Bauer was booking Velocity for a while years later, and he had to do a Benoit Regal match on Velocity, and it was so good. Velocity for a while was like a indie super show where like
Not in WrestleMania 2000.
oh wow,
Oh.
they would bring in like Brian Danielson and Paul London and
Samoa
these people,
Joe.
Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels to do like dark matches on Velocity.
Well, is that when SmackDown was kind of wrestling first, when you had the
Yeah.
SmackDown 6?
Yeah, when Heyman was running things. It might have even been a little after that. So Regal comes back this time, but now he's William Regal, or Steven William Regal, and it's shortened to William Regal. And he very quickly wins the European title, and he winds up, not that long after, beginning of 2001, becoming the commissioner of the WWF, which is what he does primarily throughout the Invasion storyline. Very entertaining. This is when like Jericho pees in his tea.
Now when
Tajiri.
he's doing the solo run as European champion, that's when he's smashing people with the brass knuckles, right?
Yeah, he did that throughout his run pretty much.
Yeah.
That's how he won a lot of matches and things like that. He does turn heel and he joins the Alliance and he's their commissioner for a little bit. And so the Alliance loses the Invasion, and to get his job back with the WWF, he is the very first entrant in Vince McMahon's Kiss My Ass Club. I think just because they thought he would make great facial expressions.
Yeah,
while he was
absolutely.
doing it.
He would sell it over the top.
Or maybe, he would over the top sell it. He winds up winning the Intercontinental title at that point, loses it to Van Dam at WrestleMania. And then he forms the Un-Americans. He's part of SmackDown. He forms the Un-Americans. It's him. It's him, Christian, Test, and Lance Storm, I think, were the original Un-Americans. And so he has the Intercontinental title, has a few other things. I remember he had a thing with Jericho at one point. I think this was before this, when he was the Intercontinental champion. They had a Duchess of Queensberry rules match where they had the actual Duchess come out. His stuff with Tajiri, like Andy said, you can sit here forever and go through like a month by month. This is what he did. This is what he did.
I like the stuff with him and Jerry.
Him and Tajiri
Oh,
were
that
a
was
lot of
good.
fun.
Yeah, good stuff. Because Tajiri would speak Japanese and Regal would understand him. And then
No,
Tajiri-
yeah, Regal joined the Un-Americans after they came to Raw. That's right, because it was just Test, Christian, and Lance Storm on SmackDown. And then they jumped over. And then Regal and Storm become a tag team. They were the tag team champions for a while. And that's pretty much his run for a little bit. He becomes a commissioner. He's in a tag team with Eugene. He's on again, off again, commissioner. But he's a consistent part of the show. He's not ever like a main event guy, but he's a consistent, usually a heel. Sometimes he'd be a baby face. But even when he's a baby face, he would kind of cheat a little bit, but he's cheating against the heels. So he's still kind of a...
He was always bringing shenanigans.
Oh
to
yeah,
what
he was
doing.
always cheating. And they would always do like fun things with him. They always, because Regal was so good at comedy, they would always lean into that. Like when they had him with Paul Burchill, and Paul Burchill's a pirate. When they did Raw Roulette one time, he wrestled in a showgirl match where he had to dress up like a Las Vegas showgirl. So they would always have little things like that where they had...
Fun fact, I think if I had an opportunity, and this is probably saying a lot just because I always liked those jackets, If they were like, hey, you can have a Flair robe or a William Regal jacket, I'd probably take the Regal jacket.
Oh, the black one with the gold on
and
it.
like the
Mhm.
Oh
button.
yeah, they're
They
very
were
nice.
so
jackets.
nice. Yeah, they were really cool.
They did a thing with him and Paul Burchill where Burchill beat him, so he had to become a buxom wench for a show. Lady Regal. And then in 2006, Booker T wins King of the Ring, and he becomes part of King Booker's court. And then the best part there is when they are on SmackDown, and he announces, "All hail King Booker," and he keeps saying it like every 5 seconds, "All hail King
Yeah.
Booker," and they go to commercial, and they come back from commercial, and he's still doing it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't have Leo Rush do that with the Lashley run. Because
Yeah.
he used to say it a lot, but
Oh,
they would
man.
never go from commercial to out of commercial with it.
Yeah.
And this is around the time they bring back Dave Taylor, and the Blue Bloods are sort of unofficially reunited. Dave Taylor was always a thing where the travel was an issue because his wife made a lot of money. She was like a high level executive for, I think, Taco Bell. And like she made so much money that
You didn't have to wrestle.
Dave Taylor didn't really have to
Speaking
work,
of a missed opportunity, not keeping a mascot around. Remember the Chihuahua?
Yeah, I like the show. They said it was offensive.
Yoguito Taco Bell.
But
I
they also
loved
said
it.
it didn't really affect the business that much.
Yeah.
Like,
Really? Wow.
It's business.
I love those
business.
commercials.
Then make a talking taco or
Yeah.
something. You know, yeah, I liked it though.
Like
Yeah.
Quiznos.
Yeah.
Now it's just the bell. Ding. They play
Yeah.
the dong.
Well, the bell should have. I want an anamorphic bell with arms and legs that talks.
Dancing out
Yeah.
front.
And then
sign.
Festus just rips apart like a whole thing of like 12 tacos as soon as
Before-
the bell goes off.
Before the dog, basketball coach and announcer Dick Vitale was kind of like the unofficial mascot of Taco Bell.
Yeah, I kind of remember
He
that.
did a bunch of commercials. for
Yeah.
Taco
Awesome, baby. And then he had some sexual encounters.
This
What Taco Bell? It's not basketball.
Yeah.
this version of Dave Taylor and William Regal are involved in one of my favorite ladder matches, and just like tag
Is
team
this the
matches
one where
in
Joey
general.
Mercury breaks his face?
Yeah, fatal. It's originally
About 3
supposed.
minutes in.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a normal tag team match between Regal, Taylor, and London and Brian Kendrick. And then hold on a second, playa. Teddy Long comes down and says, "Nope, I'm adding 2 more teams and
He said, "We're going to
ladders."
make this a tag team match." And he said, "Teddy, it's already a tag team match." Like, "We're going to make it a tag team match again." And they brought on the third team.
and then a 4th.
And like, this isn't enough. More tag team
Tag
matches.
team
More
match.
tag team.
I like
Yeah.
that gif of him.
Let's add ladders.
And then Joey Mercury's nose. Yes.
Yeah.
explodes.
Whoever wins goes one-on-one with the Undertaker.
With the on.
All right.
So then Regal gets drafted back to Raw, and they do he was an interim GM for a while, but then they do a battle royal to declare a permanent GM, and they missed a big opportunity there because it came down to Regal and the Sandman.
Oh my
and,
god.
and Regal wins, and he becomes a GM, but GM Sandman for like a month would have been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been amazing.
Because you could have, since it came down to those two, Regal could have pulled some like American government and been like, "Hey, I came in second place, and originally when
Yeah.
America started, I would have been the vice president.
Yeah,
so let me
yeah.
be vice GM."
He could have had a slate of fake GM electors, and he's going to say, "You shouldn't count that GM. You should count my
Could
fake
you
GM.
imagine like
And if you don't, we're going to storm Titan Tower."
GM Sandman where it's like, hey, I want a title shot. You're like, well, I don't think so. And you put like a case of beer on
Yeah.
his desk and he's like,
Okay.
you can have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Specifically Miller High Life if it's Dorian.
Yeah.
You're intoxicated. No, I'm not.
Now I am.
That's another tease for mind games.
Yeah.
So then we have a whole thing where a bit later, Regal wins the King of the Ring tournament in 1999.
And they put Layla with.
They put Layla with him. Layla is
I love Layla.
British.
Wait,
Layla-
99?
Or was it 98?
No, 2008.
Yeah, I said 2000.
Oh, not
Yeah.
2009.
So I watched this whole episode and I brought up American politics because this episode is like the night before. It's April 21st, 2008. And it's the night before the Pennsylvania like delegates.
Of the primary or something?
Yeah. And it's
I was living in New Jersey at the time.
and it's each Obama, Hillary, or Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and John McCain.
John McCain. Yeah.
They all cut a promo that is like sent in
yeah.
to the show. John McCain's not bad. Like he goes
Vaguely
through all
remember.
the catchphrases, and then they tease early on.
Obama breaks out, "Do you smell what Barack is
Yeah, I
smoking?"
remember
Yep.
that.
Whereas McCain runs through every catchphrase he could get in. And then eventually it leads to fake Hillary Clinton.
Hillary's like, email deleting, jet flying, husband cheating.
This was before
Oh,
the whole
sorry.
email thing.
So fake Hillary comes down with Bill, fake Bill as well.
They love their Bill Clinton impersonation.
They
We never
love-
had.
Oh my
We
God,
never had a
yeah.
fake Bill in wrestling.
He
Right?
had so many bookings.
Well, yeah, Hillary's cutting the promo, and then Bill's like flexing to take the spotlight from her, and then Brock comes down. But yeah, so Regal's path to becoming King of the Ring starts with the Great Khali versus Finlay in the first round, where Khali gets himself disqualified.
This would have been 2008 because of the election. So it's not. It's 2008. He does this. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's before, like, those are the final three when it comes to the president. But yeah,
Yeah.
so Khali Finlay beats Khali by disqualification because he keeps beating up his leg and he won't stop. So the ref rings the bell, and then Hornswoggle gets into the ring. I don't remember if Khali starts messing his day up too, but then eventually Regal comes down and says, "Hey, what the hell is going on here? I've got a match."
Tricep.
So they go from Khali like pretty much hobbling Finlay to one leg
Surprisingly good.
to then the next time I look up, it's Regal has Hornswoggle in the Regal stretch. and obviously Hornswoggle taps the Regal stretch. So match one is Regal beating an Irish person at this point, Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
And then his next match to win match two is
It's like
him
the
versus
Freebird roll, the Irish roll.
Yeah.
it's him versus Finlay. So his first two qualifying
Was he Little
matches-
Bastard at this point, or was he Hornswoggle? Remember, he was Little Bastard
This
for a while.
this is right before this may have been after Little Bastard.
Yeah, maybe he was in the.
Yeah, Hornswoggle came pretty quickly.
Little Bastard, I think, was 07. And then by this, we're like mid into 2008. So yeah, he beats two Irish people in his way to get to the finals. And then he beats Punk in the finals.
Typical Brit.
Punk wears 3 different gears throughout this night. He wears one for the first match, one for the second, then one for the
If you want to hear
third.
us talk more about Punk, hang out for the after show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hang out for the news part.
Yeah.
But yeah, Regal wins King of the Ring after beating 2 Irish people while he's active GM.
Love it.
And then he is on the signature pharmacy list, which is all the people who bought steroids online, and he's suspended.
Yeah.
And then it goes his big push.
Yeah, because he was going to get a huge push as the king, and it seemed like he was going to be a serious top level heel. And then
One of the lines I have written down from the John McCain promo is, "I'm going to introduce Osama bin Laden to the Undertaker," and I remember losing it up.
and then Obama actually did that.
Yeah. He totally did. Yeah, he did.
yeah.
Or Poseidon.
Poseidon, yeah, they did something.
Could have sent Sergeant Slaughter over. He would have.
Take
Oh,
care
yeah.
of it.
So,
All right. Yeah.
put him in the Cobra Clutch.
Yeah.
So then, shortly after this, in 2009, Regal was traded to ECW. He's there for a while. When ECW go, and that's a good spot for him at this point because they have a lot of younger guys, and he's helping develop the next generation. And then he goes back to Raw and he flounders a bit on Raw, and he became a pro because the original NXT, you had your rookies and your pros, and everybody had their mentor. Like the whole big thing was Daniel Bryan's mentor was The Miz.
Yeah, everyone's like, it should be the other way around.
Wait a second, hey. It's like if you or
It's a
I,
good pick. It's a good pick.
it's like if you or I were on NXT for announcers, for commentators. Oh, and your mentors, or no, Jim Ross is on, and then your mentor Jim Ross is BP Burke. Like what? No, this makes no sense whatsoever.
No, I don't know if you've been here the whole time or if you just joined in, but definitely check out the beginning when we went to the start. I think you're going to learn some really interesting, fun facts about the guy, and we're not done yet, so hang out.
So Regal is kind of semi-retired at this point. He's winding down his in-ring career. NXT has its 5th season, which is the final one that's on or no, it's not even on Sci-Fi at this point. Only the first 3 were.
It's just streaming only at this point.
It's streaming, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's streaming. And he becomes the color commentator. And then when they do FCW, he's commentating there as well when Dusty's not. And that's where he has his run-in with Dean Ambrose, which is kind of the end of his run as a wrestler. He has a few matches with Ambrose. He wins one. I think Ambrose wins one. He does a battle royal. He is doing some things in NXT later where he wrestles. So I don't know a lot about this stuff. I'm just kind of getting where I go.
Did he wrestle Claudio?
I think he wrestled Claudio.
Yeah.
He was working with, he
wrestles Hero.
Hero, yeah.
Yeah.
Cassius Ohno, excuse me. And I believe that might be. Oh no, I think his final. His final matches are against Cesaro, because Cesaro goes after Byron Saxton, who was Regal's commentary partner, and Regal steps in, and then Cesaro beats Regal on a Christmas Day episode of NXT, and then that was his last match against Claudio.
Weird how that all ties in
Yeah.
right there, huh?
Yeah.
But he's far from done. He's for a long time the on-screen commissioner, general manager, because they say NXT announcers should be people we see as having a future on NXT or WWE. That's when Graves becomes an announcer. That's when Tom Phillips becomes an announcer. And Regal is also taking a lot of backstage stuff at this point. He's working at the Performance Center. He's training people. He's a mentor. He's scouting. That was a big thing. Triple H took over talent relations. Regal became a scout. He would send them to indie shows. He would send them to Japan. He would send them to England. And a lot of the signings, like the Kevin Owenses of the world and people like that, Regal had a big hand in that. In fact, one of the first blood sports, the one where they did Barnett and Minoru, Regal and Moxley may have been up in the upper deck in the balcony. I was Regal with somebody. I think it was Moxley.
Yeah.
It was still Dean Ambrose. So yeah, he became a vital part of the behind the scenes operation.
So you're telling me he was originally portrayed as like a blue blood, like royal gimmick, and worked his way into a shoot in which he legitimately, throughout all of his on-screen character, had positions of power, and then eventually ended his career in a position of power in WWE.
And
now he's obviously in AEW.
one of his big
Tremendous.
signings he wanted to do for NXT, but then unfortunately he was released or he was no longer needed in NXT and he left, which was, we'll get to that in a moment, was going to be Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah.
He really, because once again, he scouted the independent scene and he really liked them. And a huge reason why my t-shirt tonight is the IW TV 100 show.
Main event.
The main event, Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia. It is free on YouTube. Go watch it.
Oh wow,
It's
that was on
unbelievable. They go an hour.
Yeah.
They go an hour, and Ref Gina is in there with them.
Sweatbox.
And
my God.
they kill it. They kill it. It's up, and the ending is so cool with all of the people who want the championship, and everyone kind of makes stakes their claim. It's such a good show.
A lot of talent on that show. You have Jonathan Gresham's in a big match on that show. Warhorse and John Wayne Murdoch have a big match on that show. You have a great intergender mixed tag match with Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy against Trish Adora and Lee Moriarty. And then
It's
the
stacked.
main event. Your main event is Yuta and Garcia.
And you got Avery Good on commentary.
Yeah.
Because we helped him get up the ladder and down. It's an awesome show. It's like go on IWTV and watch the full show, but that main event is on there for free.
Okay. The main event is on. Okay, the main event is on their YouTube. But yeah, the rest of the show I mentioned,
But
everything else is on their IWTV.
Yeah.
Independent Wrestling.
All right, let's get back to tie up Regal here.
Yeah, so he gets released in 2020.
What a heartbreaker too, because it was one of those things too where you could just tell he didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
you thought he was a lifer at that point because he was Triple H's right hand.
yeah. If you listen to Jericho's podcast, he had a bunch of health issues. That's probably why.
Yeah.
They were,
Yeah, he had some issues with his heart and some concerns.
and the spinal thing. He had to get like a
Yeah.
spinal tap.
For how
and
much
drip
people
in.
credit Triple H for the success of Black and Gold, it's hand in hand with Regal.
Yeah, it seemed like Regal was destined to be Triple H's Pat Patterson. He was gonna be to
because he was
Triple
like
H,
the
but
guy
Patterson
to
was the Miz.
recruit talent and everything.
And I'm not jumping on that bandwagon where I want people to leave AEW and go back to WWE, but that's one guy.
I'm sure they would have hired him back if he was available.
100%.
I would love to maybe see him have one more
Announce War Games one more time.
Oh,
just- so good. And I'm not saying he's not being utilized well because I love seeing him on TV in AEW.
No, but his on-screen time as NXT general manager, there was a lot of moments with him that were very entertaining and helped
Yes,
build
absolutely.
stories.
He's just an entertaining guy, man. I love having him on my TV. And on commentary. He's very entertaining on
Yeah,
commentary.
man of the mass.
Yeah.
But a phenomenal wrestler. Just a wrestler's wrestler. Everything was so crisp. Everything was so just concise and made sense. Just an incredible in-ring talent.
And then after his release at WBE, obviously we all essentially know where it leads there.
Mhm.
We have Mox and Daniel Bryan essentially killing each other and saying that to be my partner, you have to bleed with me. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, William Regal walks down and almost like separates them like two brothers. And they're still trying to get through. And he slaps Mox in the face. and then gets face to face with him and gets Mox's blood all over his face. And Daniel Bryan's laughing. He turns around, slaps a taste out of his mouth.
Who?
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson slaps a taste out of his mouth. Once again, wherever you find them first, that name always sticks. Slaps a taste out of his mouth, and here we are. And then obviously the rest is history. Adding Claudio and adding Wheeler, and
Oh, you say Claudio? Okay.
It's always sometimes it does change though.
it does. Yeah, I've always liked Claudio over Cesaro. I don't know. I think it's
Claudio.
It's easier to say.
For me, I usually go by whatever I'm talking about. If they're wrestling as Daniel Bryan at that point, I'll refer to them as Daniel Bryan. But if it's like current or just like not specific time period, then I'll.
It took me forever to get used to saying Daniel Bryan. It took me forever.
I always said Danielson too.
But what a career, and he's not done.
And those two, Regal's done in the ring, but he's
Yeah,
not done having an effect on.
He's not done on. He's not done in the business.
No, not by a long shot. But him and Danielson had some very fun like backstage stuff too. During Saturday Morning Slam, which was like a kids show, and the JBL and Cole show, which was like a web show, they would have this basically like talent search thing tournament. And Danielson was doing magic tricks where he's making like things levitate, and then you see Regal was in the background dressed like a ninja. He's Ninja Regal, and he's the one levitating everything on a string. And they just did so many fun things with Danielson and Regal. Regal helped train Danielson. Danielson will credit Regal with this training, even though he trained with the Michaels Academy and Rudy Boy Gonzalez. He learned a lot from Regal, I think, and I don't know if it would have been developmental or just
They're just a
side
fit
thing.
for each other.
Yeah, they're kindred spirits.
Yeah.
And now Regal's son is in wrestling. He was on NXT UK for a while as Charlie Dempsey, and he just showed up with Andre Chase on this week's NXT 2.0.
Well, let's get into our this week in wrestling.
Oh, there's a lot here.
Well, let's start off with a possible NXT call up.
There's a few. There's rumors about Solo Sikoa coming up, but then
Toxic Attraction. They said they were added to the main roster.
well,
the tag team.
yeah, and then I guess
Well, they were at it because someone wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah.
that's the rumor.
Yeah.
The rumor is that
And she couldn't go to
Go
Canada.
Yeah.
get that if you want to be a wrestler.
if you want to wrestle in Canada,
Yeah.
especially if you want to go to Canada at all, you have to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
So I guess no Austin Aries in Canada for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So yeah, there was somebody that, and then now, even though Toxic Attraction won that, they're out because one of them got hurt. I don't know if it was
Gia.
Gigi Dolan got hurt.
I was gonna say, who isn't Gigi Dolan? What's the other one's name? I have no
Casey
idea.
Jane.
Okay.
Gigi Dolan's Priscilla Kelly.
Yeah, I know that.
Which-
She's she has the orange hair.
Orange hair.
Which really opens up. Now, do we have a surprise team enter?
Well,
Or
they said
announced
they
there's
say
a
second chance, but
second chance. Yeah.
yeah, but who knows? They could just put somebody in there.
Throw Candice LeRae
I
up there
think
because
I think they're trying to make the booking make a little sense right now.
Here's
Yeah,
the deal.
Good try.
At this point on that side of the bracket, if you give any of the teams that were in it a second chance, the only one that can do it that would make sense, but it'd still be stupid, is Alexa Bliss and Asuka.
Yeah.
Because that side of the bracket was, as soon as they announced it, like, well, the left side, we already know who's going to the semi,
Yeah.
and the right side, who cares? I'm not trying to be mean, but no, like, there's nobody on that side. Like, the clear winner of
That's
who
a
we want
viable threat.
is both on the left hand side of the bracket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So either put someone surprise in there, or I wouldn't mind seeing Asuka and them wrestle again, and Bliss, but it's just like that's where
Candice
you
and Indy.
sneak somebody in like a Candice and Indy, and it's fun.
Or the former champs.
Or the
you could
former
do that.
champs.
I think they might come out after whoever wins.
Yeah,
the wins,
yeah,
and
that
just
seems
beat
like it.
Dakota Kai and
Yeah.
Io.
And then other NXT call-ups, Austin.
they at the end of one of Legado de Fantasma's matches, they lost. And afterwards, they like did a segment, and then they did another one where a car pulls up to, oh my god, what is what is the tag team? I forget their names now because one of them changed their names, Joaquin,
I have a hard time with that roster
Wild.
because everyone's different.
and then
And they'll
Raul
change their names every 10
Mendoza.
seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah, Joaquin Wild, Raul Mendoza, and Electra Lopez got like interrupted by a car, and it was Santos Escobar saying, "Oh, you thought I would leave without you? Let's go." So it seems like all four of them shall be debuting sometime very soon.
Did we ever? Was the guy who essentially was the Swerve on Raw? Was that somebody of interest, or was that?
I
Just,
don't know. I don't
Or
think
was
it
That
was
was
just
a local guy.
Yeah.
That was
The
just a
guy
swerve?
went after AJ.
Yeah, that was just a Swerve thing.
And then the Miz is dead.
Yep, Miz died.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Well, no, I think he's alive, and he's the one who called the cops.
Well, I don't know
on
if you remember. He
Dexter.
came back from being eaten by zombies.
Yeah.
True. Oh, great point.
Oh.
But yeah, I think Miz was
There was
probably
also a spot
one.
where Dexter Loomis was involved with zombies, so they're saying that Dexter Loomis can control zombies.
Oh, well, maybe.
Why not?
Wow.
Why not if he kills people?
Um,
Not everybody can shoot lightning anymore. You have to have a
Yeah.
gotta be able to
necromancer.
control. Yeah, you gotta control the undead. Yeah, and then Dexter Loomis shows up on NXT, and
And you have
reunites.
your tearful reunion. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. And then the very end where he's standing there and the doors close and the cops surround him. I
I
thought it
didn't
was a
see
cool
that.
shot.
Yeah.
I thought it was a
That's
cool
fun.
shot.
And then he leaves a note that says like, I love you, and pretty much I'll see you soon.
And then you had a lights out match where they actually turned out the lights.
A literal lights out. That's a Russo idea.
Did they actually turn them off?
So
Well, they
dimmed
dimmed them.
it was like the Sin Cara lighting, but it was like purple, and then like the background was black.
Okay.
And Wendy Chu was dressed in pajamas,
That's some
and
gimmick.
Tiffany Stratton had like the kind of sleepover braids going on.
I think Stratton's going to be really good.
She
Oh, the
has a
moon-
lot of potential.
The moonsault she does is so
She's a
flawless.
gymnast.
Yeah, I think the Cindy girl is going to be good too. This pajama girl.
Well, she was
Wendy
wearing a
Chu.
romper here.
Yeah, I think she's going to be very talented. But Stratton, I think she could be another Charlotte.
Well,
Like I think
you-
she's a lot of potential.
I haven't
have-
seen her wrestle.
You have to worry about Wendy Chu because she's 1,000 years old.
Oh, yeah.
That's why
she
she
is.
sleeps
She-
so much.
Yeah, she is
They-
very old.
They did a Lego spot in that match.
Really?
They kind of messed it up the
Yeah, they
first
really
time,
messed it up the
and then they ended up doing it again. The crowd still loved it.
Stratton does a fall away slam and it's supposed to be on the Lego.
And an arm.
But yeah, like a forearm hits the Lego. So then Stratton picks up Wendy Chu and body slams her on the Lego.
There you go. Yeah, they caught it. And then shockingly, Monday Night Raw got us all. So we're most times, and I know I was playing on my phone. Commercial break. I'm playing on my phone. We're doing a live stream on Tantalizing Tony. We're not paying attention, and I'm a little ahead on the stream than he is because I have my tablet here, and I hear music, and I'm just like, "That's all right." We're coming back.
First note I'm in. I'm like, yeah.
We're coming back from we're coming back from commercial, and it was really low.
Well,
It didn't hit hard.
Was it after commercial?
It was immediately
They
after
were right-
commercial.
it was right back from break. Yeah.
Okay, because the
It was,
segment
it was
before
what they call a cold open.
the
well,
segment
cold back
before is Loomis taking away the Miz, and then after that it's Bobby and AJ still in the ring beating up
Ciampa.
Ciampa. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was after the break then.
Maybe Loomis turned the Miz into Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's a
Maybe.
magician?
Yeah. So like we're all thinking if we're gonna get
Cleveland.
we're all saying if we're gonna get Gargano, it's gonna be to help Ciampa, and then
Or-
we're like, is this it? And then nothing,
Or
and then
mystery tag.
then it goes to a commercial, and then we're like, all right, well, there goes another Johnny spot. We're not getting it this week, and then we're all I'm playing on my phone. I hear the music, but it's not like it hits hard. Like, do you submit? Like you hear the music, but
Well, it has
it's
that little the opening
Yeah.
part.
it's like it's fade. It's like a fade
That's
in.
down, and where it's like clapping, like
Yeah, and then they show the crowd, and the crowd, there's just one guy in the crowd who's paying
yeah, the
attention.
one guy that understands what's happening.
and he loses it, and then they cut to the Titantron. It's just this it shows a smiley face, then the Gargano.
because everyone's at first like, wait, what? Oh,
What?
okay.
A smart way of doing it. It was
Yeah.
so like,
That's
Caught me with
surprise.
best way to say it. They caught me with my pants down.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting.
yeah,
that.
it was something that no one expected, and we all wanted.
Another one
And,
of Triple H's guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he immediately comes out and says, "I'm looking for titles. I'm here to do." And
maybe Triple H's guy, as a matter
Yeah.
of fact. Well, no, it might be Adam Cole, but
At least
Hey,
he did
or
a good job
Kevin.
of it, Yeah.
or Kevin.
you know, Kevin wasn't there that long though. Because Kevin got brought up pretty quickly.
Yeah, But-
Gargano was there forever.
man.
Heart and soul.
Once again, I said it. I said it a couple weeks ago with Killer Cross coming and then other names coming. Is Cody's push as big as it was before?
I think Cody's going to be just fine.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Because he's still big. And
He's big,
Still
but
He's
Cody
still
Rhodes.
moving merch. He's still
Yeah.
drawing interest.
But the crowd loves.
So that tweet got like 1.2 million views, which is like the most in like a 24-hour span that they've gotten in a while. Like Johnny, the video of Welcome Back Johnny Gargano and his entrance music hit had like 40,000 likes very quickly too. One of
Yeah.
the like pretty much since Cody being back, it got a lot of traction.
Yeah, and then Kevin comes out as as soon as they said people who think they're fighters and think they're tough guys and stuff like that, I was like, oh, Kevin's gonna come do
Yeah.
a 2-on-1 beatdown.
Mhm.
They're making Kevin a monster.
Yep.
And they did.
NXT Kevin Owens is back,
NXT Kevin Owens is back.
I don't know
Making
how
a main
I,
event guy.
I don't know how I feel about him going back to old gear.
I love it.
Like I'm
That's
okay.
fine. His gear's all kind of
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Did you see the screens and the turnbuckles
Same-
all turned to duct tape?
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
I did not.
Yeah. WWE is like I'm pumped for Mondays again. Like I look forward to Monday nights.
It's been a market improvement.
They knocked that episode out of the park because like the women's tag tournament since it started has been really good. All of the matches on it were again solid.
And, like EO is still is doing very, very good stuff, but it's still not full EO yet,
Yeah.
which is
She
exciting.
did get her original gear back. I was like,
Yeah.
oh wow, she don't have her stupid jumpsuit.
And they are teasing it so hard. They're only giving them short sprints in the ring of seeing EO and Asuka together.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you only see
Yep.
them for a minute, and then they tear it apart. You're like, fuck, give me that match.
And then main event in that show was really good. Finished with a Canadian destroyer done by a Canadian.
Yeah.
In Canadian.
Not usually a big bully Ray guy, but he says that you have the female equivalent of the Great Muta on your roster, and you need to make her that. And with Triple H in charge, maybe we do get that. He sees Asuka as like the female Great Muta. He's like she's that.
Well,
good.
she blows mist.
Yeah, I mean she's Japanese. I mean,
I see her as Asuka.
yeah,
I see her
I
as
love-
literally the future.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
yeah,
love
she
her.
hasn't been used well. since
Asuka is among the
A couple
best
years.
women's wrestlers in the
Oh,
world.
I agree. Totally.
Since
Totally agree.
NXT, you could
Yeah.
argue, and she
Yeah.
won the Royal Rumble. I mean that, but then she didn't go. That wasn't her fault.
Well, yeah, no, they had two Japanese superstars win
Yeah.
each respective Rumble, and then neither of them.
Then Vince was like, "That was enough. God damn it! What more do you want?"
Yeah, Noah says they need something for SmackDown. The draft is a great way. So I broke down.
Well,
Yeah,
they might not do it.
yeah.
not until after WrestleMania, they're saying no.
USA does not want the draft now.
No,
until,
you're just like, no, Raw's all right. We're
Oh,
good.
Yeah, because they have a stacked
Yeah.
roster.
Yeah.
Also saw that like there's not going to be an official change to TV 14. However, like
We don't need it.
Dolph said bitch, said
Yeah, that's
ass.
fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
the match between him and Balor was real fun.
It was.
Yeah.
good
Um,
wrestling.
There's a
Yeah.
guy that needs a lot of rehab. Though.
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
to make him a main event guy.
I was literally breaking it down. There's about 15 guys right now in the company who are all viable world champions.
Man, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Maybe wrestling, like talent
Yeah,
wise,
talent-wise,
but
but push-wise.
Present-
as far as
presentation-wise.
yeah,
Roman-
probably not yet.
Roman, Cody,
Drew,
Seth,
Drew, Seth,
Seth,
Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley,
running out.
I'm convinced that
Kevin.
Riddle.
Kevin Owens, okay.
Johnny.
No,
No,
You don't think Johnny Gargano is your world
Too small.
champion at
not
any
yet.
point?
Too
Yeah.
small.
I
At any
disagree.
point, I just think they're.
With
I think
Triple
they're-
H in charge, you
they're
don't think
gonna-
Johnny Gargano can be world
Triple H
champion?
is a body guy.
Yeah, I think they're
Don't-
going to build him
confuse
eventually, but he's going to be an Intercontinental guy first.
Yeah.
I see him even maybe being more of a tag team guy for a while.
Yeah.
Run him and Ciampa into the
I
crowd.
think he will get there eventually.
I
I would
but
say
not right away.
Ciampa with Triple H
No.
in charge. I wouldn't say I could see
Too
Ciampa
many
could be a
miles,
champion
too
of any brand. They're all champions.
Too many miles.
Not
too
yet.
small.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Killer Cross.
I could see them putting the title.
Yeah,
on
they
Killer
might.
Cross.
They were saying they might.
Killer Cross.
And now
Put
I
one
think
on
you're
him.
done. Now I think you're done.
I
Braun
give-
Breaker.
you
they
better
build
put
him
my
up.
finger
Braun
up for
Breaker,
Riddle.
yeah. Braun Breaker.
Oh, yeah, Riddle.
No.
No,
Why not Riddle? He's been the most
Mid-card.
over.
Mid-card
He's
stay.
the most over baby face.
I know, but
during the
that
era.
don't. I mean, our truth is over. Babyface, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Riddle's very good. Maybe if he wins the Royal Rumble, you got to build him up though. A lot of these people, like, they might be able to get there. We got to build them up.
I'm just saying there's enough talent that you can do an equal draft split and still have two very, very exciting shows.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, he is building people. Look what he's doing with Kevin Owens. But you can only do so much at once. You can't
Yeah.
say we're gonna build everyone up right now.
Rome
Yeah.
wasn't
You have
built in
to
a
pick
day.
a couple people and
He's-
work them people.
He's doing a better job of building a lot of people up at once than AEW does.
Yes.
over their entire
AEW
run.
But then again, he has more hours of TV to work with.
Mhm.
But just on
Yeah.
Raw, they're doing a great job of building up. They're doing a great job. I just blanked out.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Sammy.
Sammy's on SmackDown.
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable
I think
lost.
I think Chad Gable gets
He's
crushed
lost,
by-
but they're
Kevin.
starting to like present him longer still.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Maybe not making people look like main event threats, but giving them a presence
Yeah.
than AEW.
Not look like idiots.
AEW can only
Or
really do that
worthless.
with like 3 or 4 people at a time.
Mhm.
All right. Well, it's you know what's exciting for a long time on This Week of Wrestling. We didn't have a lot of positive or things
Yeah,
that
'cause
were
it
exciting
sucked.
to talk about with WWE.
So
Yeah.
now everything's going well in WWE and everything's going well in AEW, and it's all
Well, there
Oh.
are
Mhm.
cool things in
Oh.
AEW, and
Yeah.
and we'll start with the first one.
The video game.
The video game looks awesome.
It does.
Absolutely.
As-
It looks so much fun.
So initially, when they first came out, I said, "Oh boy, what you showed us! You literally showed us a second of matches where the garbage can didn't look like it fit on a head, and then you showed us mini games
Yeah.
where they look like they were robots." Awful start. I don't mind the mini game idea, right? So
I
if you
don't
find
really
fun ways to make mini games, cool. Give me something
That's
different.
extra stuff. You can't
Don't mind
put
it.
extra
Yeah.
stuff.
But then they show that Adam Cole, Kenny Omega entrance where they literally show Kenny biting his tongue and doing
And
the,
there's the behind him are the
The-
dancers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Andy, run down what they show in the graphic of
Well,
what we're
they,
gonna
they
get.
have the thing where it's a career mode, online multiplayer, leaderboards, wide range of custom modes. This is great. So just think, No Mercy had more modes and things to do than the WWE game that just came out last year.
Yeah.
There was 4 outfits for each character, which they said they're going to keep. WWE game, oh, we can't do that.
You
can't-
have
anyway.
to do it during you have to go through the custom creation, then add it onto a
Yeah,
super.
and it's a different character then.
Yeah. Well,
That's
no,
so
no,
dope.
you could add it to the character now.
Oh, can you?
Yeah,
Finally.
yeah,
Finally. In the year 2022.
Like you can go download another Bailey gear.
Yeah.
But when you download it, you can link the 2 Baileys together.
No Mercy did it in 2000.
Can you go
Exactly.
to the Can you go to the Dynamite?
SmackDown Mall.
Can you go to the Dynamite Mall and pay $500,000 for a hoe?
$500 shirt. Anyway, custom wrestlers, custom moveset, custom entrances, custom teams, custom arenas. And then they say the match types. There's one glaring omission, but they'll probably add it because it wasn't one of the games. Single match, obviously, tag team, 3-way dance, 4-way, ladder matches, casino battle royal, falls count anywhere, unsanctioned lights out, allows use of weapons in quotation.
And they said 40 weapons.
Oh, wow. And exploding barbed wire death matches will be in the game. I wonder if they have the
That'd be funny.
no
You have the
cage match, though. And cage matches
Yeah.
were in No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000.
Yes,
They had in
yeah.
WrestleMania 2000. So I think maybe,
They said
mission.
40-person roster.
I think it's more than that. I thought it was 50 or 60.
40 to 50, they said. But they said they are working still on more characters.
You got to save something for DLC.
Yeah.
Whether it's
You
DLC,
got to get that cash grab.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
DLC could be like Blood and Guts or Cage.
so
related.
essentially
If they're the first wrestling game to do war games, oh
Mhm.
my!
they show full on, no transparency, no hidden thing. They literally pause the game, they show you the controls, they show you, and it's no mercy.
Linked to our topic, William Regal is your trainer in that. He tells you what the buttons are,
Yeah.
what they do.
he's the
Um,
true Gulak. of
It
this
is
game.
literally punch, strike, hold, tap for quick, hold in for strong. Same with your grapple button,
Yeah,
and then
same
it's
controls.
It's B up, B down, B left, B
You
right,
remember that?
A up, A down. It's so they said is if you played N64, you will be able to pick it up and immediately do it again. Same with
I don't know.
N64.
I'm out of practice. It's been a while.
Same with the N64 game. You work your way up to your signature,
Yep.
and each character has like 6 signatures. Like
Your
Kenny had
spirit.
like a bunch,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the momentum bar.
and then
Yeah.
you
And
taunt.
they're the same thing, too, because they're.
Yep,
well,
and they glow, but they also still pop up damage to certain body parts.
yeah.
So like in the N64, they didn't show physically that this person was red. But
Yeah.
he would hold his leg.
Yeah, you
he
have
would
to-
hold
yeah.
his neck.
Remember that,
See
how
what
they
were
do that?
selling.
Yeah.
And then I hope you could do the still the finisher thing, which
Yeah,
no game has done since. Like, why?
yeah, it was so
You
much
tap
fun.
A and B. Oh, I got your finisher. So there's 20 confirmed guys. Now.
And then you taunt to get to your finisher, but your finisher window is tiny.
Yeah.
like you only have a small.
You used to be able to squeeze in No Mercy. You could squeeze 2 or 3.
Yeah,
finishes in.
depending on
they-
if they were short or fast.
They shrunk it down. You get your finisher, and it's essentially over. Like you can't sneak 4 or 5 in. They did change that.
Boo.
Wow, they're
um,
making finishers.
I did
in
like
an
that one game where you
AEW
could store a finisher.
And
that was
button
yeah.
mashing will help you kick out, not timed things like
yeah,
they do.
I hate the time thing.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. What's the are the
A
breaking point?
physical referee is in the game, counting your 3
Aubrey
counts.
is in the game.
Can you bump the referee?
Probably.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But it
Free
look,
Blade.
you know what I kind of hope they add to the game, but I hope it's a feature that they can turn on and turn off. One of my favorite features was in the GameCube, where hit detection. So if I suplex you and you're pinning, the legs of the suplex will count.
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
stop your submission.
But
Stop.
the more characters that gets a little.
It
I
gets
want you to be able to
wonky, yeah.
fight backstage.
Yeah.
Maybe even fight to the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium.
Hey,
Kenny also said
Oh yeah,
that-
Palace in the Palace.
that this game will support like as we keep going. So if they announce a different show or something fancy comes on TV or a pay-per-view, or they say, hey, this new
Oh,
pay-per-view
make
is
that
going to be
arena.
called, they will add that to the game. Like that, it'll almost be like Madden, where if someone
Yeah.
debuts, they will add
it's a
them
good
in.
thing that
Until
people,
next year's game.
the people in charge actually played the old games.
Well, they
and know
said
what
they might not be a yearly game. It might be something where it's not released as a time thing. Like we
Like
have
a
to make, we
GTA.
have to do. It's a yearly thing.
The
It-
problem that
it's-
then it
yeah.
becomes a live service game, and then you go into microtransaction. becomes a
Yeah.
whole
Or they
thing.
just update it and give you content as you go.
But that's not a
Yeah,
good
but
way to
the-
make money.
yeah, Eventually, you have to start making money.
They're not
then
making this game out of the goodness of their heart.
So there's 20 confirmed people. Well, Abaddon to start off, who was never on TV. I think she was on TV last Halloween.
Fun character to
Yeah.
pick. though.
Yeah. Adam Cole, Adam Page, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes still in it, Darby Allin, Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, Jade Cargill makes the cut, John
She's on the
Moxley.
cover.
Yeah,
the
that's
first
right.
black female wrestler to be on the cover of
about
a
that?
wrestling video game.
Jungle Boy, Kenny, Chris Statlander, Nyla, Owen Hart is in it, Big Show, Pentagon, Thunder Rosa, and Yuka Sakazaki. That's 20 people.
I
One
wonder
of
if
these
they're-
things does not belong. here.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the commentators in it, like Taz, Excalibur.
Well, they didn't.
I
show-
wonder,
They
they
didn't.
might not have commentary because remember back then they didn't have commentary.
It was the
There's
music.
certain updates you can make. I
Yeah.
think people will be okay if you have commentary.
Yeah. They didn't list commentaries, but they did
Yeah.
kind of play like the music. Like remember that you played it had like
Yeah. So
They
it
might have just laid down the commentary.
Yeah.
No Mercy didn't have commentary because it wasn't a
They
disc
didn't have-
game, so it would have been hard.
yeah.
So it looks promising.
It does.
And
Uh,
just watching like the gameplay of it, like watching just even Kenny hit a drop kick, like the drop kicks just look satisfying.
The one week angle looked good. The Adam Cole's knee looked good.
I just like how I move around. It looked like No Mercy. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, very promising. Well, let's stay on AEW. Before the show, there was this Wednesday there was a backstage meeting where essentially they said a few people stood up and said their piece,
Kenny, Jericho, the Bucks, and Tony Schiavone.
and they said some people took because Kenny kind of came a little hot. They said Kenny's big thing is we made this company for a reason. We made this company for a change. We made this company to not be like the others. And I feel like he's taking this backstage drama shit and he's like, we need to fucking chill. We need to calm down. We're not going to fucking beat the top guys and the top businesses if we're here fighting each other.
We're not going to continue if we keep doing it.
Exactly. And he kind of was very,
And remember, it's you guys that are taking this for granted now. I was in me speaking as Kenny
Yeah.
Omega. Like I was injured, but I
was injured.
but
and
I-
you were here. I got to do the Kenny.
so
that's
essentially
solid.
he kind of, and some people were inspired by it. And they said some people grumbled and went back to their
you
corners
always
and,
have that.
yeah.
and talked. I honestly, I think at this point, if you're cancer, you got to get cut. You got to
Yeah.
get out of here.
Yeah, that's any company.
And that's a good way for people who want to leave to say, well, I'm just going to act like a cancer then.
Yeah.
We're both cancers.
We
So
are.
here's my question. If someone turns around now and says, because there has, and also an email was sent to executives at WWE, especially speaking of mainly
Yeah, the
Stephanie,
legal department.
Yeah.
saying stop tampering.
Yeah,
'cause
because I guess someone
supposedly
made some phone calls.
some talent went back to Khan and said, I'm being offered stuff.
What are the like legal rights with contract tampering when it comes to like WWE?
It's weird because it's not like in sports
Yep.
because there's no collective bargaining agreement. But I guess you can't. I don't think you can negotiate. I don't think you can offer money.
yeah, and it's also not like you're a lawyer or
Yeah.
Yeah.
or even
mean-
an advertiser where if you have information on like specific products, you can't go work for a rival company.
No, but you can tell your friend, and then your friend could go tell that wrestler.
Yeah, that used to be the thing.
Yeah.
You always put
Yeah.
out feelers. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's ways around it, but yeah, you can't say, "Hey, we want to give you a contract." Well, I'm under contract.
Yeah.
The breach of contract.
But if you want to ask for your release, we got you. Yeah. And then the other thing that happened is this
There's a lot of things that happen.
Yeah.
This happened a while ago, but it's now being talked about and reported now, where Eddie Kingston was suspended. The
For 2
suspension,
weeks,
the
yeah.
suspension is done, but now it's kind of coming out that it was a story, like it wasn't reported on when it happened. And essentially, what happened is,
And it appears his match with Guevara is off of All Out.
yes, they were supposed to do a match in All Out, and Guevara, they essentially sat down. Hold on. So it says, as a professional, you communicate things that you do not want to be said, like other people in programs that have worked with Matt Hardy, Jericho, and others. And I did communicate what
Is
didn't.
Guevara talking?
Yes. Well, I didn't communicate what I wanted to be said in the angle, and Eddie didn't. But Eddie did not have the same. And Eddie did not mention to me or any of the coaches or TK anyone what he did not want said. So after Tay and I's match with Sky Blue and Dante, I cut a promo on Eddie, insulting Eddie as the fans as a heel, which I know is one thing that he loves to do and hates me and Tay. So in a perfect person, I played to this asshole character, and for ultimately Eddie to beat me at All Out. So I said to the people, and what what people say online about Eddie is his appearance, which is anyone who legitimately shames Eddie for how he looks can go to hell.
Yeah, he basically called Eddie fat.
Yes. So this is all directly quoted from like people from Frightful from Sammy Guevara. He said the same people who shame me for being too small. So Sammy Guevara in character went on a physical and playing to that person so Eddie can shut up and go all out. But Eddie did not do the professional thing and communicate me, which I feel he should have done in the start, which I don't want to hurt somebody in real life. So after the promo, I get back and Eddie is flipping out, yelling, "You can't call me fat," over and over, and trying to walk down the stairs in Gorilla and make a big scene. People get between us. Eddie tries to pie face me, and one more, and he does touch my face, which is weird. And everyone backs up. And it was unfortunate because the promo was a tape show that easily can be edited, and nobody would have ever seen it. And Eddie this isn't the first time Eddie is known to be aggressive and getting out of control backstage. And I know he had something to do with his anger. I know he needs to do something with anger management after this whole thing. This whole thing was very unnecessary. It is what it is. Live and learn. I guess on to the next one we go.
There's so much from that alone. First of all, like I see why Vince wanted to have promos that were, I mean,
Scripted.
yeah, completely scripted. That way you avoid anything like that happening, because then it's between the two talents saying, oh, I'm okay with this, but not consenting, literally
Well,
consenting.
AEW does listen to the dirt sheets and listen to what fans say, and they use that in their promos, because then the fans go, ooh, taboo.
Yeah, God forbid someone says something in a promo.
Yeah.
It seems like Kingston got a little...
Kingston, they say his issue was, if you make me look bad in the promo, like I'm not an athlete, and I beat you, you just lost to the guy who's like a fat slob. And
Which
an athlete.
makes sense, but then you gotta.
But he went about it the wrong way, and
Yeah.
he's even said like Eddie hasn't really made comment other than like, yeah, I messed up, I was wrong.
Yeah. I suppose what it seems like is he took his 2 weeks, he realized what he did was wrong, and they moved on. But it's just getting reported now because backstage drama.
Doesn't sound like Sammy moved on from that statement.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like Sammy has moved on.
No.
He said he's moved on, but you don't go on that giant statement if you've genuinely moved on.
Yeah, you would
Well, I
just
think
say,
the story broke that he was suspended and things
Something
happened.
happened.
So they asked him what happened. He just told his side of the story.
still.
Yeah, but you're not moving on when you're that. You could have just said, we had our issue, it's over, we're moving on.
Yeah.
That's how you move on.
Mm-hmm.
More backstage drama. Punk and Hangman and a Page. Supposedly, one said something in a promo the other one didn't like, so then the other one took a shot at the other one backstage.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of that last
We
week.
did, and then it led to this week where now they move the title match to Dynamite, and we get out there for the title match, and it's a squash match essentially,
Yeah,
where
like
Punk plays into an injury, which diehard Punk fans are saying we just think he wasn't fully cleared, and this was
he's
him.
fine.
He's
I
100%.
don't think they would let him wrestle.
Yeah.
And it's like
I
if
mean,
he needed time
You
off
can
more. and-
wrestle if you're not cleared, and especially if it's going to be a quick squash, you're not really putting your injury in danger. Not every state has to clear their wrestlers.
Yeah.
Not every state has.
My
to
thing is, I think just from being around
but he's
the short amount of time I've been around and hearing the way things get done backstage and seeing the way things get done backstage and hearing old school stories that look like, here's what the booking I'll agree to make sure we get it in the ring and get done. But this is my criteria of how it has to go down, and we'll get out of town. This looked to me as if CM Punk took a page out of Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels in one match and said,
Well, no, he actually lost a title in the ring. That's not Shawn Michaels' book.
well, he faked the injury, which
Yeah.
is Shawn. He refused to lose in Chicago,
Yeah.
which was Bret Hart. But I had to take 2 of your finishers, and then I'll walk out. But I need you to let me know that I walked out with assistance.
Well, there's that, and then there's also the reports now that the main event of All Out is going to be
them too.
John
Yeah.
Moxley and CM Punk.
Which is dumb.
Then you should have never had the match in Dynamite.
I agree.
But I
But
don't know about losing in Chicago. I don't think that's a great idea either. Even
Yeah.
even if he
So,
says I will lose in Chicago, I'd be like, no, you won't.
I think the idea is that Punk's going to win in Chicago.
Yeah.
So you're so hurt that you got beat on squashed on TV
And then you're gonna wrestle a
to
20-minute
wrestle
match.
2 weeks later.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
I
And
don't-
it
I
just
thought
looks
that-
like ego. Punk needs his ego.
I was gonna say if this is no ego, I don't
Well,
think
I
so.
don't know whose ego is in question here.
Yeah.
If the rumors are true that Moxley balked at the idea of it just being one match and he loses to Punk in Chicago.
Yeah.
And the rumor is, and this is all rumor,
Yeah, number 9.
that Moxley said, hey, possibly Moxley said, hey, why don't we do this thing where I beat Punk on TV in a squash and then Punk beats me after that?
Which is like why
So,
do that?
who's ego tripping here? is the question.
Absolutely. But
Everyone.
But didn't I also say last week that Moxley getting completely trashed in a promo saying that he's not good and everything like that as being one of the top guys in the company, then to go to Chicago and have it be all proved right is not a good look for your...
No, not
no,
if you
of
have a
course
20-minute match. That's awesome, and it's back and forth. If it was one-sided,
But when Mox's promo was just
Well-
shut up and let's fight, and the other guy's promo was your entire life you've never been good enough to beat me, and then I beat you.
you almost come close though. I mean, it's not. If it was the other way around, CM Punk beat Moxley in 3 minutes, yeah, that would suck too.
yeah,
I mean, the match was.
The whole thing has been.
It's not good.
The whole thing has been.
it looks like a
super-
clusterfuck.
It's weird for a world title.
If
Yeah.
there is no injury or no ego involved, and the way you combined your 2 world champions is a 3-minute squash match, wah, wah.
Exactly.
Also,
I got so disgusted I turned the show off. I
Well,
didn't care anymore.
It took the air out of the room.
Yeah,
And also, this Sunday, it'll be 1 week until All Out. We still don't have an announced main event.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's the thing that AEW fans used to give WWE shit for.
Yeah.
oh, it's this close to the pay-per-view. We don't have all the card. Where's our main event? Now AEW's doing it.
Yeah, the main ticket.
Well,
Like you have some undercard matches, but even a lot of those, it's like, okay, how many people are buying this thing to see the Acclaimed? And I love the Acclaimed.
Yeah. But
And I
yeah,
like
and
Swerve in Our Glory, but that's not what's moving pay-per-views.
Yeah. So I felt the show itself did a really good job setting up matches for the pay-per-view. We have a lot of
But
matches.
you need the main event.
Yeah,
You need a main event.
aside
It's all
from the
about
main
the-
event,
you
yes.
need a main event.
Yes, but
What is the match right now you're most excited for?
well, hold on, let me finish. But when everyone asked me what I review, what would I rank this week of Dynamite, I give it a 5. And
Out
the
of
reason
10?
I give it a 5 is
That
because
3-minute squash.
if you sell me a steak dinner, which is your world championship, and I show up at the steak dinner and I get all sides and no steak,
Or I get Salisbury steak.
our little bit,
or a tiny little piece of steak and not a big cut,
yeah, you're gonna be disappointed.
my meal sucked. No matter how, if the steak was this big or like
It ruined it for a
you
lot of
sold
people.
me for
Yeah.
this giant main course
You know what that
and
felt
didn't
like?
deliver.
Vince Russo.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and also people kind of felt already weird because of what time the match was going on.
Yeah,
She was
it's
like,
not
oh,
last.
this isn't the main event. Something,
Leading up to it, I said, if Mox wins here, there has to be some validity to this backstage drama.
Yeah, well,
I
here's
think
the
that's what
thing.
they're playing into,
Yeah.
which is not good. You don't want to play in the internet rumors and book for the
Yeah,
internet
so
audience.
that's,
Yeah, 'cause
that's
also-
the other side of this coin. Are they literally just trolling the internet?
That's legit Vince Russo shit. That's
Yeah.
a big
Did they
problem.
hire him on the sly?
Because if you're
No, no
someone who
polls, yeah.
bought a ticket to go to that show to see a world
You'd
heavyweight,
be very upset.
yeah, to see
Or how
Punk
about
versus
if
Moxley.
if now Punk doesn't show to Chicago, how pissed are Chicago people being that Punk is not your world champion going into the biggest paper? Like they've waited for Punk for 7 years to hold that belt in their city, and now he doesn't
But
have
now
it.
he gets to win the title in Chicago.
If
Yeah.
if,
Just like when he beat
we get it.
Cena, yeah.
as of right now, we have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, Meltzer says that's still the main
But Meltzer's
event,
not
but,
gospel.
yeah. But who knows? We'll
If
find
Mox,
out in
if
2
Mox
weeks.
walks into Chicago as your champion and Punk is a no-show,
Yeah, who the hell does he wrestle? Lance Archer?
it would
Like-
have to be Hangman. Rank wise, it
You'd
has
have
to
to
be.
have-
It has to be
yeah.
Adam and Page.
Then Hangman's not the mystery partner in the trios tournament. Then, or they lose.
There is
I-
no mystery
there-
partner.
It's Hungy, Alex Reynolds, and
I thought it was a mystery
10.
person.
no, it's.
Isn't he? No, it is. It is.
He said
mystery
I will be
person.
in their corner, but he said he will not be their partner.
Yeah, but the Penn is hurt or something.
Oh, is he? I
yeah.
didn't-
So
Well, then it'll
the-
be Evil Uno.
no, he's in Germany. They said on the tour for the video game or something.
Oh,
like that?
Yeah, him and Cole Cabana are.
Yeah. So it's Alex Reynolds and John Silver and mystery person.
Oh, okay, yeah. Bray Wyatt.
Now it might just be it might just be 10. You know,
yeah. Who knows, man? It's fucking weird. If like
you never know what's real and what's
what I
what's-
will say is
not.
MJF essentially is working the internet with his angle.
Yeah, but
he's-
what
he's
kind of
fi-
angle is that? I'm
we're-
gonna go away for a month.
well,
and
he
that's
went,
it.
he went away because the guy he's working the angle with
I
was
know,
hurt.
but this is the story for the people who watch TV.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here anymore. Whatever happened to that guy?
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, he
Yeah.
did what a lot of people would want to do at times and said, "Hey, I don't want to be
That-
here. I'm leaving."
That's
Yeah.
not
And then
good
Punk
story.
Punk shows up and then he comes back after Punk.
No, but it's all. I feel like it makes sense for MJF because he's kind of entitled,
but
and he didn't get something
But now,
his way.
but now
But
everyone's like,
literally
is he
nothing is
gone? Is he
happening.
coming
Yeah.
back?
Yeah, but
Exactly.
most people forgot.
I don't think they have. I think his music
I
hits and
think
shocks people.
I think if he jumps Punk after Punk,
Yeah,
wins
if
the
he
title
jumps,
it all
yeah.
out, then it's over.
Yeah.
Then he's super over again. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But you don't think he's going to play into this whole internet spiel? Like,
but is that then not like also predictable booking that?
Well,
would-
sometimes it
Predictable
ain't bad.
booking's fine as long as
because
it's good.
this
Yeah.
internet rumors has people hot at CM Punk.
The
That
whole-
all this stuff is having people. It makes it look. CM Punk is a diva, and he taking his ball and going home. All this stuff, and then MJF come back, and all his promos are about how John Cena's a fucking entitled brat, and he doesn't want, but he's making all the money, and then he beats him, and now once again, MJF's now your big baby face.
Yeah, to go back to the whole idea that if booking is predictable, it has to be bad, is how you get Vince Russo. So Vince Russo's saying is let's do the exact opposite
Yeah.
of everything people think we're
Are
going
your headphones too loud?
I'm very hot in my ears.
Oh,
sweating.
okay. I say I turn you down if you need it.
No, I'm very hot.
It's weird. Like I said, is there truth? Is this where? Like I understand how you're saying this is Vince Russo, but you need to find different. You have to find creative ways now with social media and everybody knowing everything to keep kayfabe somewhat alive.
Yeah, I would say most people are probably watching the show. Like not everyone is the internet fan.
If
Yeah,
if I was a booker and I was at a level that high,
yeah.
I would 100% feed dirt sheet nonsense.
Yeah, and people
Hmm.
have tried that, and it is what it is. But then like you had the Acclaim do the line about the talent meeting, and like it got no reaction.
Yeah. So there you
Because
go.
Yeah.
you can't exclusively book for people who live on the internet. And are reading
Absolutely.
every bit of news, because
And that's
you're
that-
booking for, even in AEW, which is a niche product, you're still booking for like maybe 10% at the most of your audience. if
honestly,
that.
Triple H's promo to Punk was essentially saying that. Like when
But
they,
that just feels like Punk's character.
but what I'm saying is Triple H turned around and said, "Well, Punk, you're the voice of the voiceless, and you're making all these changes, but you don't realize there's people that like it here. There's people who like the product, because the smart fans are one half of your fan base, but the ones who pay the money are the ones who are not reading dirt sheets, and they're the ones subscribing to whatever you're showing them on a weekly basis,
But they will watch whatever you show.
and they will watch religiously. You know what I mean? So who do you cater to? Your smart marks, or you cater to your money? You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
wrestling booking, but yeah,
And then that's not all for backstage in AEW.
yes.
Thunder Rosa vacates the women's title. Well, not vacates, because they don't really vacate.
But she said that she's going to step down, but then she's still going to be interim.
And then she's made sure she
I don't
said
think she
interim.
understood.
She said, "I'm stepping down as champion," but then made sure to say interim 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So now there's a 4-way match at All Out. What is it? Britt, Tony Storm, Sheeta, and
Jamie
Jamie
Hayter.
Jamie Hayter for the interim title. And then reports come out that there's mega heat on Thunder Rosa. Her and Britt Baker hate each other, and it's not.
I mean, we were kind of all told that.
Yeah, it's not a secret that Jamie Hayter was very upset that Thunder Rosa broke her nose in a match, and then there's this whole report that Thunder Rosa hid in a bathroom.
yeah.
Which is weird to think, because Thunder Rosa's not a chick to fuck with.
But neither is Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about like all these
Shooters.
Japanese dojos and how you learn that's Jamie Hayter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Unless it was also like click mentality, where like people were ganging up on Thunder Rosa.
And now people are saying, oh, maybe she's faking your injury to get out of this whole thing.
It's weird because
I
who
saw a thing
knows?
on Twitter where it was the Shawn Michaels losing my smile, but he had half a sugar skull painted on
that's hilarious. I will say that just from what we've been hearing, and when we're saying what we're hearing, we're not just hearing from Joe Schmoes on the street. We're hearing from people who are connected, who know
From
people.
Adam Cole, baby.
We're hearing from
No.
and not just one, but multiple people who are in the business and who are in the know. And we've been being told now for probably weeks, if not a month now, AEW has backstage shit going on.
Oh yeah.
And the names we were told was Punk, Britt, and one other name. But the other name doesn't seem like he's flexing it probably as hard.
Well, he's got his own angle.
Yeah.
But the other thing too with this is the reports were that before this injury, Thunder Rosa was slated to lose the
Tony
title
Storm.
to Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Which it feels like it's time for.
And
Thunder
then,
Rosa.
yeah.
It's Tony
'Cause
time.
Her,
and then Tony and Britt,
well, Thunder Rosa's title reign has not been the best.
it hasn't been. But I heard a lot of that has to do because someone's in someone's ear with her booking.
That still don't affect the match quality.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know?
I will agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, so we have a new champ, interim champ being crowned. Let's get through what we know now for All Out. So we're getting the 4-way for the interim women's championship. So if you're, boy, I hate this interim thing. Well, get ready. Here we have it
Got some
again.
more.
Because we don't even have an
not a
update on
fan.
what Thunder Rosa thing is and how bad it is.
Yeah.
Some people are saying it's slip disc in her back, which
boy.
that's not good. So we have that. We have a tag team championship with the Acclaim versus Swerve, Strickland, and Keith Lee,
It's a shame that they didn't have the best tag team in the world. to put
which
on
is
that.
a shame. But I kind of want to see the Acclaimed as champions.
I don't think you're gonna see that.
I love the
Ma-
Acclaim,
ma-
but
maybe I
The
don't see them
Acclaim
winning.
is a fun act
Yeah.
that's going to live.
Maybe only because the reason I say that is I want Swerve to be a solo.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
only
I would
thing
like
there.
Swerve and
again-
Keith Lee to be solo characters.
You have the best tag team in the world,
And they're not being used.
and they're going to be in a 6-man, which got a lot better this week.
Yeah,
Got a lot better this week.
Yeah, no,
it got better.
That feels like that match is good. I don't know
Well,
how
let-
you could say that that's not a
let's
good
say the match.
for them at the pay per view.
So it's everybody thought it was going to be Wardlow and FTR against Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt, but Sanjay Dutt comes out and says, "I never said who Jay Lethal's partners are. I never said who the 6-man team was. It's going to be Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns."
Fucking
Yeah.
sign me up.
yeah, that should be really good.
that should be a shut up.
went
to
from
like,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. Somebody said it's Wardlow and the entire 2007 TNA X division.
Yeah. Essentially. Do we see the Wolves possibly make a tag
You
team
could see
run?
them.
Oh, probably at some point.
I'd be.
And then
It would help that tag team division.
Alex Shelley going to go right from that match to PPW. So
yeah, we're going to see him.
within a 7-day span, he's going to be teaming with
Stay
Lethal.
healthy, please. 'Cause I want to see you wrestle.
Going to be
Facade.
teaming with Lethal against Wardlow and FTR. And then he has a title shot against the new PPW heavyweight champion Facade that Saturday, the 10th.
I just realized something. I'm gonna make sure.
Hey,
Oh, thank God, it's on Zoom.
Oh, you think
Do a
we're
whole
going over the
episode.
laptop
You
mic?
said PPW, and I was like, I hope the mics are
You had
set right.
flashbacks.
I did.
You had
I did.
flashbacks.
Matthew Deems in the chat. Yo, what's going on, bud? Thanks for hanging out with us.
And then you have, but still, you have, and it's going to be a great match. You have the best tag team in the
yeah.
world.
You know what? You know what the Claim would make good tag champ? ROH tag team champion.
Yeah.
They should like.
Well, no,
belts
that
and-
should be the Briscoes.
Yeah, well, they
The
that's-
Acclaimed would make good WWE tag team
Yes.
champions.
Yeah.
They would make great WWE tag team champions.
What other match we got? We got Ricky
you
Starks
have-
versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah.
We have
The casino ladder match.
Yeah,
Casino
which
ladder
they
match.
announced anyone yet.
Which, if you're bringing someone in, maybe your mystery guy to challenge for your champion by winning the ladder match
Bray Wyatt.
is MJF.
Oh yeah.
He does the Miz
Maybe.
thing where he shows up in a mask, like
He
the
shows up
Calgary
as the
Kid.
Joker. He's the last one out.
He shows up as Argyle masked guy.
Yeah.
Who could that possibly
Not even a
be?
mask. He just shows up with the last
Maybe.
contestant.
Yeah.
He comes out,
They-
maybe beat whoever. Maybe you give someone that everyone like this is your last person. Then behind MJF goes, I'm going in. He wins it. Now he's like, Khan, I'm your number one contender. Then he wins a champion. Now that whole do an angle where fucking pay me, I'm your champion.
Yeah.
Like, and then you seal both those stories where it's Punk, and if Punk does wrestle, and then now he does his on screen where I'm now being paid what I'm deserved in this company.
Or he just says he wins it at the beginning of the show and says, "Hey, throw me in the main event."
Yeah, you could do that.
That too. Maybe we leave Chicago with MJF as your champion.
And maybe they do a callback to the crowd's just booing the show because he beat like cost Punk the title and he does the whole
Yeah,
blows the
kiss and
kiss,
blow.
falls
Yeah,
out
the
with
thing
the
walks
title.
out and puts it in his fridge.
Yeah,
that would be a great way to end the show.
puts it in a wine, one of those
And then-
wine fridges.
And then continues to stay off screen.
Well, no,
like another
the
month.
next 3 shows after
Oh
Chicago.
God! Then you get an interim champion.
The next 3 shows after Chicago is Rochester.
which has nothing to do with MJF.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
But
Rochester,
it's Buffalo.
Buffalo.
But that'd be like Philly and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
It's Buffalo, it's Albany, which is a little closer, and then it's Queens.
Queens. So it's the 3 in the state of New York, but it ends with Queens.
It's not like they're going to be at Nassau Coliseum or that new arena.
Yeah.
that just played.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's
Barclays.
your last
Or-
show of that three New York run is in your hometown, and I'm sure if
Not
if
quite.
if MJF is your world champion, people in New York are going to travel to see your Long
They're
Island
not going
crowd.
to travel to Buffalo.
I disagree.
That's a 6-hour
no,
drive.
no one's trying.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
no one's trying.
if you
to
live
Buffalo.
in, if you live in
Driving
Philly, are you
from-
going to Dynamite in
Driving
Pittsburgh?
from Long Island to Buffalo
That's
would be
even.
like driving from here to like
Erie.
Cleveland.
Yeah. No, more so
if
Cleveland.
Andy was your world champion and he was wrestling in Pittsburgh, I'm driving.
I wouldn't drive to win the title in
Pittsburgh's still a little closer. My drive to Put-in-Bay, Ohio is 6.5 hours.
Just saying, if my top
I mean,
guy,
there's
that I-
wrestling fans that will drive.
yeah, if
but-
my top guy who
At
I
that point,
wanted to
would
win,
fly.
Yeah.
yeah, if my top guy's in the show, I would do it. I mean, I personally have never been to a wrestling show in my life.
What I'm
but-
trying to make you understand is that Buffalo and Long Island are in the same state,
what I'm trying
but
to tell
they
you
couldn't be
is,
farther
is
apart.
talking to people who drive all over the country
fine, and
for
they-
shows. People
but-
pay for it all the time.
But they might as well drive. Like, here are some places that are closer to Long Island, much closer drives to Long Island than Buffalo.
Sure. Wilkes-Barre.
Philly, Wilkes-Barre, Boston,
Absolutely.
Connecticut?
Baltimore,
Yeah.
Connecticut,
But what I'm
Pittsburgh?
saying is,
Yeah.
if it's the first time that they can see their
Richmond,
boy wrestle,
Virginia. They could see him at the Sculp and Norfolk at it.
but I'm just saying, people travel to see their boy.
Then fine, put it in California. They'll travel.
They will, but
No.
they don't have to.
Put
if
it
it's-
in
if-
Tokyo. Put it in
Yeah.
Tokyo. The people
That-
from New York
that-
will travel.
Yeah, well, you don't have to because it's all in the same state. I mean, I know it's 6
It's-
hours away, but people will travel for that.
Texas.
Yeah.
Texas exists.
That's such a. It's a Wednesday.
Do you think
during-
everyone who goes to Mania are from that state?
No, but that's WrestleMania.
There's a difference
But I'm
between
saying-
WrestleMania and Dynamite.
Do you think people who all went to
Do you
SummerSlam this
think?
year?
Do you think hardcore Steve Austin fans from Texas went to see him defend the title on Raw in Dubuque, Iowa? Probably not many.
I'm
If
just-
WrestleMania was there, maybe they fly to WrestleMania. It's a once in a year thing.
I'm just saying, I talk to a lot of people who spend a lot of money on airfare to go to shows that
Yeah, they're
blow
usually,
my mind.
They're usually giant pay-per-views, not TV.
Dude,
tapes.
they go to Chicago for because they knew Punk was going to debut. They drove to Chicago
Well,
to be there.
that's different. That's a guy coming back after 7 years.
Of course, but it's also your guy from Long Island winning your title
I
against
think
CM Punk.
you're drastically overrating the fact that Buffalo is in the same state as Long Island.
Yeah.
or overrating the fact that MJF has that much of a Blackpool.
We will see if it happens. That's all I'm saying. There's people who pay. I wouldn't pay, but there's people who are fucking diehard wrestling fans that
there's
pay that
people
money.
who would pay MJF Wrestling
And they would
International
show up.
Station.
They would show up in 6 hours away, and they'd have their merchandise head to toe. They would be carrying 13 fucking replica titles
Well,
with them.
there's people that live in the town that would do that. I was
Yeah.
about to
Say if I had the money, I'd be in my car right
Because
now on my
if
way
MJF,
to the
if
performance.
MJF
center.
wins the title at the pay-per-view and the first Dynamite is in Buffalo, I'm going to say, I'm going to wait until he's in Queens. That's a lot closer, and it's only 2 weeks
Yeah.
from now.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm saying that whole run is like it culminates to him being in Queens. Is what it essentially.
It's a little New York tour.
Yeah, Buffalo culturally is way closer to like Toronto. And
Yeah.
geographically, Buffalo is only like
Yeah.
60 miles away from Toronto.
Absolutely, yeah. In the chat, Anthony, Brian, great vlog from Hamburg Fan Fest. Congratulations on the championship, Andy. Can't wait to see you
Thank
guys
you.
again. Maybe Sanctuary Sunday, Gavin. Is there a Sanctuary this Sunday?
I don't think so.
I don't think there's a Sanctuary this Sunday.
I think no. This is kind of a.
Next one's
There might be like a. Is it that first Friday thing?
September 11th, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
next show is September 11th, but they usually do a first Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a message Trotsky about that.
But yeah, the next shows I know you and I would be doing anything for would be PPW on the 10th, and then
Yeah.
the next we're on the 11th.
Yes.
And then our calendar is pretty much wide the fuck open. until-
Outbreak on the 17th.
Yes.
That's all I got. Any other? Oh, other matches? There was another match. announced.
Yeah. We were talking about the best tag team world. You have the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah,
Put them with a guy in his mid-50s.
but the storyline that they're telling there is interesting.
Yeah. The promo was good. I mean, I'm sure the match will be.
People
it'll
say
be
I'm
good
the
again.
greatest of
be
all time.
fine.
People say you're the greatest right now. Let's wrestle and figure it out.
What match?
Jericho
Jericho
versus Danielson.
Oh yeah.
And then they announced Christian versus Jungle Boy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian versus Jungle Boy.
And the finals of the trios tournament, which seems like it's going to most likely be the Elite against the Dark Order.
Yeah. That's why I'm thinking, does Hangman get
Or House of
put
Black.
in there?
Could be.
The only reason everyone's saying House of Black wins it all, but the only reason I would say House of Black doesn't is because they
I
have
will not comment
have-
because I read the Rampage spoilers.
because they have beef with Miro and they have beef with Darby still.
I will not comment because I read
Yeah.
the Rampage spoilers.
Kenny in the Bucks.
Yeah, I think Kenny and the Bucks beat Aussie Open, which is exciting, and I
Yeah.
think we get that's the first time we're going to see
They had a match they
Ospreay
said
and Kenny in the same ring.
7 years ago in PWG. That's what Calvert said.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll tell you
how
what,
many
that
people
was-
seen that?
That would have been a great way to establish an actual trio that isn't the Elite with House of Black, because it seems like they want to push them as an actual stable.
yeah.
Why not?
They're not.
Yeah.
these.
Yeah.
that's all I got. I guess for the most part. Anyone else? Any news?
Vince McMahon recently celebrated his birthday. He was out with John Cena, John Cena's fiance.
Who saw him?
No one seen John Cena.
No, but they were suspecting before because his fiance was there with Vince. And Vince's companion, unnamed, definitely not Linda McMahon.
Yeah.
Linda's
Wonder how much he paid for that dinner.
It ain't.
$3 million.
20 to 19.5 million. or
That's an
whatever.
expensive
Jesus
dinner
Christ.
date. You know what I'm saying? Anything else?
I believe that's it, news-wise.
Andy, what do you got to plug?
So no shows this weekend. I know that Steel Stacks show is going on LVAC in Bethlehem, right?
Yeah.
If you want to see Eddie
Eddie
Kingston,
Kingston will
you
be
can-
there.
and Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy will be there. Big Dan, Erica and the Boar. Drawing a blank on who else will
Yeah.
be there. It'll be a real good show. So LVAC, Lehigh Valley. Apparel
Athletics
Creation.
Council
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Apparel Creation.
Yeah.
They switch it up.
Yeah, so the Steel Stacks show. Check that out because that would be a really good show. I have no shows this weekend, so I have nothing to plug on my end.
What about a show that you just did on Tuesday?
Oh, okay, yeah. That was actually Monday.
Tuesday. We
Not a
record.
wrestling show.
We record Truth Behind Illusion on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. I did do another one on Monday. Anyway,
A podcast.
yeah, they show. Me and Drew, Matt Turner, we drafted from 1991, and we had to build the card, and then whoever's card is better.
Who won?
They're gonna when the show goes live, it goes up, I think Friday, and then they vote on Twitter. So,
Okay.
when that goes up, I'll post it. My main event was Roddy Piper versus Ric Flair, and his main event was like Hogan versus Mitsuharu Misawa or something like that. He picked up.
That would be an interesting match.
He was very heavy on the Japanese. I was very sports entertainment for 1991.
Well, I'm sorry, Matt, but I'm going with Piper and Flair.
I had Sid versus Ultimate Warrior, 5 minutes.
Oh
Do
my
whatever you
goodness.
want. Do whatever you
Don't
want.
get- what are they going to do for the rest of the 4 minutes and 30 seconds?
I know. 5 minutes for entrances. Anyway,
How are you going to do like Sid? You got to carry this guy.
and my card was called Summerfest to a nod to the great Jeremy Piven when he messed up SummerSlam. when he was guest hosting Raw. So that's the A show that will be coming soon. And then we did an energy healing episode for Truth Man Illusion with Nadine. So check that out. It was long, but it was entertaining.
Yeah.
And when you find all about Reiki and shamanistic principles and stuff like that.
Wild
If you're,
stuff.
if you're into that kind of stuff, energy healing.
Yeah.
And feng shui was mentioned.
Yeah.
So
And penises.
yeah,
Always talk about penis.
why not? Hey, everyone's either touched your own or somebody else's. Think about
right.
it for a second.
Everyone's touched penis.
Well,
Mhm.
aren't all molecules technically connected? Like every molecule in the world is like
All right,
technically.
we're getting too crazy here.
Yeah,
Austin, what's your
Jesus,
plug?
yeah.
I had something that I wanted to mention, but then I had like such a shit show coming out of my house today.
Forgot.
So yeah, it's still just the sanctuary. I train there on Saturdays. I should be there this Saturday. There wasn't a formal training session last Saturday because a lot of guys were wrestling different shows, and that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I know there was some of the sanctuary gang at the UCW show.
And
Yeah.
there was some of the backburner shows too.
Yeah, we saw.
Vinny
yeah,
was in both of them.
Vince Torres was in both of them.
thought-
Crispy was hanging out.
I thought Vincent did very well.
Yeah.
The both shows.
Was
Uh,
Andre at one of those?
he-
Polino?
He was
Well,
at.
He hung
yeah.
out, but he didn't wrestle.
Yeah, he didn't wrestle backburners.
And then
Chris P was there as well.
Zach Xander was.
Zach
at
Xander
UCW.
wrestled at UCW. He did well as well. I thought in that little Rumble thing they did, I thought they both did a very good job.
My boy's right there.
Thought they did a good job.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Brian,
Murder, my dude. This is an off week, but next week we'll be talking.
I'll
about
let you
the-
plug it, even though this is the show you truly care about.
We have a case, Lori Vallow. Before you can see it on Netflix, we'll be talking about it next week.
Mm.
There's going to be a Netflix documentary about this in mid-September. We're going to be talking about it next Friday, September 2nd. The Lori Vallow case. Her kids vanished. It unearthed. So maybe there's some stuff going on with her.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just finished Mindhunter.
Did you?
Yeah.
I still haven't watched the second season.
It's good.
It's
good.
a great show. Yeah.
There was a limited comic series called Mindhunter that involved Predator, Aliens, Witchblade, and The Darkness.
Wow.
There we go. That's a deep cut.
iwepnetwork.com. Go check out the rest of the shows. Support, man. Feedback goes a long way. If you can join that Patreon, that would really, really help us out to help us get our equipment goals, as well as merchandise. Or if you can't do that, just share. Check out the network. So find us on social media. Hit those likes and follows and shares when we post stuff. It goes a long way. Not gonna lie. Checking out Instagram and seeing 2 likes per post is fucking heartbreaking. Or looking at a video that gets 2 plays in a week. Yeah, it makes you like, wow, I'm glad I saved up 4 a.m. for that one, you know? So yeah, support goes a long way because you never know if it's gonna be around. Because when you kind of hit that point in the road where maybe you're getting 4 listeners, we love you 4, but that's there's no growth there, you know?
Not worth it.
Not worth this. Not worth being time away from our friends, our family, our wives, our non-wives, our girlfriends, whatever it may be. Our friends, our family. You know, we can be doing things on Thursday nights. We could watch an Impact right now.
Oh, let's not go crazy.
I would.
That's a joke because everyone says no one watches.
Yeah, but yeah. So feedback and support goes a long way. We love you guys. We'll see you and next week for the Clash of the Castle All Out, and we'll throw some Worlds Collide in there as
Weekly
well.
Wrestling Weekend Review.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
we'll
we're
talk
gonna,
about AAA when Worlds Collide too.
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna talk about.
That's not on the network. Well, wasn't.
We will talk about all the pay-per-views that are happening next week in full cast tomorrow. So you will see Austin and Kelly here. And then the following week, if you want to start doing your homework now in your house, Mind Games. We'll see you guys next time.
1996.
Six.
See you next time. Here's some Billy Trey. We're out of here.